410, 49, 408, 407, 406, 405, 404, 403, 402, 401, 359, 358. 322, 321. Two 27, 226. Oh my god, the system. So I gotta fix the clock. 205, 204, 203, 202, 201. One 130, 129, 128. 110, 109, 108. 27, 26, 24, 22. Oh my god, I can't even count down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, hello, hello. What's up tonight, everyone? Welcome. Hopefully you enjoyed my manual countdown because why is it? Okay, there we go. Hopefully you enjoyed my manual countdown tonight. How's everyone doing? Fine Tuesday evening to you all. Good to see ya. What is up, Ninachuk, Zaldazak, Benimon, Bear Snake, Wall of Chaos, BG Stilt, Psycho Magi, Kyonic, Thomas Flash, JP the Pirate. Oh, no servos yet, but I haven't forgotten. It's still on the list. Someday the servos will shine. JP, how's everyone doing tonight? Oh man, I missed you yesterday. The good news is we have nearly reached the end of Kaldheim spoilers. So I think next week we should be back to normal, quote unquote. Hopefully normal next week. We will see. I don't know if there's going to be an extra preview stream. I will let you know when I hear about it. I haven't heard anything about it yet. If there is, we'll hopefully be able to do that. So Jeff Boyardee, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. I'd be perfectly honest, I feel like you should do the countdown like as a April Fool's parody. That could be pretty funny. So how is everyone tonight? Oh man, I missed you yesterday. I know I missed the Monday streams, but boy, spoilers, just so many spoilers. This set looks insane. I'm so hyped for this set. This set looks absolutely ridiculously amazing. Hey, thank you for the cheer, Koenig. Hey, what's up, Tony? How are you? Oh my goodness, this set. What do you think of Doomscar? I don't know if you heard the podcast. Is this too good? Like, Richard actually made the argument that Doomscar is too good, and we should be, like, afraid of it existing. I'm kind of hyped for it, though. I mean, it might be, like, brutal and standard, but Gossocks, 26 month, welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. The full set, I'm not sure. I think the latest it will be is Friday morning. It could be as early as tomorrow morning, though. Like, today was the last full day of Kaldheim spoilers that Wizards has listed. So fingers crossed. It could be though that they like give us a full commander decks tomorrow and then give us a full set on Thursday or Friday. It's got to be by Friday though, because Friday is pre-release. So we know the latest it'll be is Friday morning. So we're still missing a white mythic god. Didn't we get that? Isn't it Helvar? It was like one of the very early spoilers. This was like the early. So I think we do have it. Wire Fever, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. So I'm incredibly hyped for this set. Like, I think this set looks super sweet. I don't even know what card I'm most excited for. I started working on my top 10 list for YouTube, and it's hard to get the list down to 10 for basically every format. Like, there's so many good cards in this set. I think I'm really high on Velky, Tibalt, mostly the shenanigans you could do with it in various formats. Someone sent me a really sweet Yaki and also Booster Therapy. Hey Seth, unrelated to current topic, but what are your thoughts on the massive price increase of the Great Henge, and will it stay long term? Ooh. Well, Booster Therapy and young Yaki G, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. I think that it might actually stick because there's no paper magic right now. So I imagine that most of that price is from commander demand, and I don't see that demand going down. Eventually it'll get reprinted, and that should drop the price down. It might go down a little bit at rotation, but I really think it's almost exclusively from commanders. So, gonna need your video to help raise my hype. I will try. I will do my best. So yeah, I mean, this I think it looks really sweet. My one concern, and this is not a concern about Kaldheim. I think Kaldheim looks great and exciting, and it's really complex, and it's got fun builds around, and it's got cool tribal themes, and it's got so much sweet stuff going on. My one concern is that I'm really worried that that Eldraine is just going to push Kaldheim out of the format, like it is tended to do to most other sets. Like, honestly, I'm just done with Bone Crusher and Lovestruck Beast. Like, those cards, it took a while for it to like sink in how insane those cards are, but I really feel, and I'm not calling for them to be banned, I'm just sick of them, and I feel like they push a lot of cool things out of the format. I felt like all spoiler season, where's a good example of this? All spoiler season, okay, here's a good example. All spoiler season, I'm looking through cards, and I'm like, whoa, Quakebringer, that's insane. Opponents can't gain life, it's got good stats, it does something for the graveyard, but it just gets stonewalled by Lovestruck Beast. Maybe the best example from early in spoiler season was the green 3-drop Old Growth Troll. That card looks really sweet. It comes back, it does all this stuff. It's 2 4/4s in one. That seems exactly like what I want. But what happens if I play my 3-mana 4/4 and my opponent plays their 3-mana 5/5? Like, it just does nothing for the rest of the game. And the same thing kind of happens to a lesser extent with Bone Crusher being so good that I tend to be skeptical of small creatures that need to survive for a turn. Like Magda, I think Magda can be busted, but you really want to untap with it to do cool things, at least in the early game. Or like Dragonkin Berserker, like sure, you could go off with this card, but isn't it just going to get stomped like every single game? So I kind of wish they would just rotate Eldraine, and then Kaldheim would really shine. And I do think Kaldheim is good enough to have cards shine through even with Eldraine, but Eldraine is just, it's so busted. It's so insanely busted. So So, but I love this set. I'm excited to cheat Tybalt's into play, release to the winds in Historic, Cascade or whatever in Modern. That's something I'm hyped about. I'm hyped to build the tribes. I'm hyped for some of the legendary tribal stuff. I really like a lot of the rare gods, and I like Toralf as well. Like, there's so many cards that I want to build around in this set. So anyway, though, that's neither here nor there. That is coming. We mostly reached the end of spoiler season, but that just means it's almost time for set release. It's almost time for us to start playing amazing new cards. So chat, what are you most excited for? Like, God Tribal, that's on my list. We gotta try to put all the gods in our deck into play with a single land. That seems busted. Burgee is one I'm really excited for. I think Burgee's so sweet. I can't wait to meme Kin in Historic with it. It seems like it could be sweet in Modern Storm too. It's like another Brawl Electromancer with a backside that's also relevant. Giant Tribal Sea. Ooh, Jund Infect Party. Or are we, is it finally time for Zagath? Zagath? Is that the name of it? Is it finally time for, that was one of my top cards from the last set, and I keep waiting to be proved right that it's actually going to be playable, but this might be it. Ooh, how are we cheating Tybalt to play? So my favorite, someone sent me a deck list around this. I think the sweetest way to do it in Historic, in older formats, there's a bunch of different ways. Like Modern, there's a bunch of ways, Cascade and so forth. But there's one card in Historic that makes this work, and that card is Release to the Wind. So blinking does not work with the new MDFCs. If you blink an MDFC, it's coming back on its front half no matter what. However, Release to the Winds is worded really weirdly. You exile a non-land permanent, and as long as it's exiled, the owner may cast it without paying its mana cost. So what this means is in Historic, if you play Valky on turn 1, you can Release to the Winds it on turn 2 and decide to cast the Tybalt half for free on turn 3, I guess it would be. Valky turn 2, Release on turn 3. You get to cast it on turn 3. Oh my goodness, it seems so sweet. So I'm excited for those shenanigans, but we gotta wait. Yeah, doesn't that seem like it could actually work? Like, turn 3 Tybalt in Historic seems legit. I mean, I guess you get Muxus still, but the other card, oh man, I shouldn't have put that down. I should have put it down. The other card that I think is maybe a sleeper. The other card that I think is a sleeper, and this is a card that looks janky. Debate Bro, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. This card, I think it's a sleeper, and it looks like this janky weird card, but I'm actually really high on Mystic Reflection. I think this could actually be really, so here's what I'm envisioning. You play this card in a deck where you can sometimes take advantage of it with your own creatures. Core Gunex, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. So here's what you play in a deck where you can make tokens, do shenanigans, turning your little things into big things. But picture this in Historic. Your opponent's goblining you. If you ever played Historic, you know how often you get Muxus and how brutal it is. Can you imagine your opponent casting a Muxus and you like targeting their goblin token with Mystic Reflection? So after they sack their board and do all this work to cast their game-ending Muxus, you're just like, just kidding, it's a 1/1. I just want to get people with it. It's like the ultimate mana time. Like, who's gonna expect that they're gonna get got by Mystic Reflection? Yeah, that combo's sweet too. Mystic Reflection and Master of Waves. That seems really fun. I'm excited for this. I'm hyped. I'm super hyped for this set. Yeah, and tomorrow, since we're getting to our reminder section, tomorrow I will be joining Tomer's stream. Tomer streams over on the Commander YouTube channel, 6 p.m. So same time as our normal stream. I'm gonna join Commander stream with Tomer. Also gonna be joined by Taunos, who is Momir'd with us and is a mod here, and longtime video editor Nidachuk. So if you want more streaming action, bonus Commander stream over on the YouTube channel tomorrow. So that should be fun. I'm gonna bring back Hans because I haven't got a chance to Hans yet. Every time I try to play Hans, people just kill me on turn 4. So maybe tomorrow we'll finally get to see my doppelganger go off. That is my hope. Otherwise, reminder-wise, replay YouTube. That's where you'd find all the old streams, including this one in the future. Normal YouTube, as I mentioned. Commander stream tomorrow. Also daily spoilers. Also tomorrow Against Odds is sweet. Isochron Scepter one, and oh boy, I'm gonna be very interested to see people's reaction to tomorrow's Against Odds deck, because on one hand it's really cool, on the other hand it has a semi-disliked card in it, so it's gonna be interesting to see how this goes, because the combo is so sweet, but at the same time we gotta play a little like dirty cards to make the combo work. So we have a new donation for but that's gonna be up on the YouTube tomorrow. We have a new donation from McCarry. Whoa, $100 donation. Hey Seth, I have a Nihab the Eternal deck that uses a lot of earthquake style mass damage to make tons of mana and nukes the table. Do you think that Toralf would be a nice inclusion? I don't play stuff like Blasphemous Act, but it seems like it could work. Well, McCary, thank you so much for the massive donation. And yes, I think that is exactly where I would want to play Toralf in Commander. Like, that style deck is so perfect for it. So I would throw Toralf in for sure in an Earthquake Nihab deck. I think it's an easy inclusion in a deck like that. So yeah, that seems like a great option. A reminder that our sponsor tonight is Card Kingdom. And maybe you want to, I don't know, pre-order some Kaldheim cards? Well, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com. They got them all up for pre-order now. You can see them listed right here. You get Bind the Monsters, the blue Swords to Plow. People got really mad when I tweeted this was the blue Swords to Plowshares, but it's 1 mana blue hard ream. Isn't it not a fair comparison? Is that clickbait to consider Bind the Monsters, the blue Swords to Plowshares? I don't really think it's clickbait. Like, that was the first thing. Yes, it's sorcery speed. Yes, it's an enchantment, but it's 1 mana deal with anything. So yeah, you get your cards over at cardkingdom.com. Even get a free Scoop Soldier sticker. They're super nice. Just let them know you want one, and they'll hook you up. So thank you to Card Kingdom for supporting the show. Otherwise, the Discord is new and improved. The merch page has tokens, t-shirts, playmats. Good way to support the stream and the channel and the site. Donations, always appreciated. We just had a huge one. Thank you again, McCary. Never required. $2 or more gets your message read on stream. This is the beginning. We're just about to start our shenanigans. So what are we starting with tonight? And someone, whoa, gift subs for days from Apocalypse going to Adural, the Booty Snacks, Hastu, Fatmaster, and Rital. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, someone sent me this deck list, and I really like Vannifar decks. I really like Emil, but we don't play it enough. So this deck is super convoluted. You want to know how convoluted this deck is? I have not played a game with it yet. They sent me a very big primer of how to play this deck. So I actually have the primer here to make sure that we play this deck properly. So here's what we're trying to do with this deck. We're trying to get a Vannifar down with any 1 mana creature. And then here's what we're doing. And this is not the boring old like gray merchant. There's no black mana in this deck. No black mana at all. Here's what we're setting up with this deck that is absolutely ridiculous. So here's the plan. You get down Vannifar with any 1 mana creature, and then you have some of the same loops. You Vannifar into Corridor Monitor to untap Vannifar, then you get Renegade Railier to get back Monitor, untap Vannifar, then you get Mimic to copy your Renegade Railier to get back Monitor to untap Vannifar, then you sack Railier to get Emil. Emil can blink the Monitor to untap Vannifar. Then you sack the Vannifar to get Zerta to reduce the cost on Emil. Emil makes it 1 to blink the Railier to blink the Railier to get back the Monitor to untap Vannifar. Then the end goal of all this is setting up us getting to an Ardent Firemaster, which makes 2 when it comes into play, and we can blink for 1, which gives us infinite mana, and then we can either tutor all the creatures out of our deck, or we can tutor from our sideboard with Fae of Wishes a Banefire for 20 or more uncounterable damage. Oh my goodness. There will be puns. There will be puns. There will be puns. I promise you. We have another donation from McGarry. Last thing I was adding was Fiery Emancipation. So good in a deck like that, McGarry. Last thing I was adding with Fiery Emancipation seems nice to Dwarf also. Yes, I would highly encourage Fiery Emancipation. Also great in those decks. Sounds like some really good upgrades. Huh. So that's the plan. To go through this one more time, because I'm trying to remember this myself. The goal of the deck, we get down Vannifar. Let's see if we can remember this. You gotta help me, chat. You gotta help me. You gotta help me with this. This is a lot of steps. So, Vannifar, sack a 1-drop, get Corridor Monitor. That untaps Vannifar, which sacks the Corridor Monitor to get Renegade Railier, to get back Corridor Monitor, untap Prime Speaker Vannifar, which sacks the Corridor Monitor to get a Glasspool Mimic, to copy a Renegade Railier, to get back a Corridor Monitor, untap Vannifar, which sacks a Corridor Monitor, no, we have messed up already, which sacks a Renegade Railier to get Emil, which blinks the blinks the Renegade Rallier to get back the Corridor Monitor to untap Vannifar. Then we sacrifice the Corridor Monitor to get Zerda to make it 1 to blink with Emil. Then we blink the Corridor Monitor. No, Renegade Rallier, Corridor Monitor, Prime Speaker. Then we can finally sack the Corridor Monitor to get our mana in Ardent Electromancer. Then we keep blinking it with Emil to make infinite mana. Then we can either keep sacking and looping to tutor out all these creatures from our deck, or find Fae of Wishes to start tutoring from our sideboard for the win. Whew. We're good. We're good. We got it. We got it. And I don't know if this was a troll or not, or if it's actually ideal in the deck, but there's a single Aerial Grazer, I swear, that whoever sent me this deck took out a Gilded Goose and added in 1 Aerial Grazer just to troll me. I'm pretty confident that that's why there's one. That's why there's 1 Grazer. But, all right, let's try it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, everyone? Are we good? Also, as a backup deck, we still have 5-color Niv we can work on that we didn't get to last time. So if there's too many putts or we get bored, we can Niv. Also, the backup second backup deck, is. This deck just cracks me up. This deck cracks me up so much. I love Haphazard Bombardment. This is like Boros Control. Boros Control, with the game plan seemingly be to blow up enough of your opponent's stuff that Outlaw Merriment can win the game. Like, literally, when I first looked through this deck list, I could not find a win condition. I was like, wait, like, yeah, sure, you blow up stuff, you draw cards, you blow up stuff, you exile stuff, you kill stuff, you gain some life, but how do you win? The answer is 2 Outlaws Merriment. So hopefully you just blow up so much stuff that eventually your random tokens from Outlaw Merriment wins the game. So, so that's on the list as well. So we got some fun ones for tonight. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the Vannifar combo is weird enough that maybe people will let us play it out. Full spoiler, I'm actually not 100% sure. Full spoiler, it's got to be between tomorrow morning and Friday morning. Friday morning would be the latest because we know that there's pre-release Friday afternoon. So it's either tomorrow, Thursday, or Friday, and we don't actually have the answer. We haven't gotten the full Commander decks, right? Like, we have some cards from the... wait. Oh, we got an Uro, we got a... So it's kind of a dirty Nissa hand, but we'll keep it. We got a Mana Dork. That's fine. We haven't gotten the full Commander deck list, so I'm kind of guessing that we're going to get full Commander deck list tomorrow. Maybe skip a day on Thursday, and then get the full spoiler Friday. Could also be we just get the full set tomorrow. Will you even be able to go through the combo fast enough to not time out? Hopefully, because we're taking actions the whole time. So hopefully, since we're taking... So hopefully, since we're doing things the whole time, it'll be fine. Oh, it comes into play tapped. Well, all right, Uro. Put a land into play. Fabled Passage. Crack Fabled Passage. Get a Plains. Renegade Rallier. I mean, we got a board. That's a cool little value turn. Can we get through the counters? That's a big question. Only 2 cards. So 2 cards and then this music's driving me a little crazy. So only 2 cards and then the commander decks. Okay, that sounds about right. We are playing a very convoluted Vannifar combo deck. Someone sent me at the moment. Infinite mana, infinite everything, I guess, really. Like, infinite shenanigans Vannifar. We'll see if we can resolve anything through infinite counter mono blue. Ooh, Fauna Shaman. I'll play Fauna Shaman. See if that draws out the counter. No. Play Emil. See if that draws out a counter. Aw. Oh, unsubstantiate? Okay. I guess that's fine. Well, beat you down. Opponent is drawing a lot of cards, though. I'm still not feeling good about where we're at. Is there a link to the primer? Ooh. Let me see if there's a way I can get it in chat. The problem is, it's a deck that I was going to put up I was going to put up for the fish tank. So the article isn't actually published yet. I don't know if the person who sent me the deck is in the chat. If they are, they could probably send a link. All right, attack. Go. Emil is such a cool card. Hey, what's up, Afera? How are you? I asked on Twitter, is there any other kind of... I mean, I guess they are all fairly convoluted. That is true. Sea Dasher Octopus. Going to block Renegade Rallier. Well, let's blink it. Get back Rallier. Get back a land. Hit ya. I mean, maybe we just win this fairly. Monogreed Stopian, hello Chrome. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. What day is early access? Oh no, another one? That's less good. But it's gonna draw a whole new hand. That's very less good. Okay. I actually honestly don't know if there is an early access event. I have not heard anything about it. I assume if there is one, it'll be next Wednesday. Welcome back, Monogreen Stoppy. Good to have you at Heligrove. 24 months. That is awesome. Thank you so much. 41 months for Monogreen Stoppy. Big scoop cheers for both of you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Did I successfully? Oh, do you actually want to hear the computer building story? Is it actually interesting to you? There is a preview stream? Oh, well, then I assume it'll be next Wednesday, and I hope you're invited. If not, I'll have to ping someone at Wizards and ask them. That's a downside of not doing the one downside of not doing the content creator program thing. Is there anything we should be tutoring up with this Fauna Shaman, or should we just like attack? Well, let's play Nissa. See if our opponent has a counter. Yeah, the stream FPS should be better. It should be smooth. I should look all nice. So this means they have 2 Spell Pierces? It's gotta mean that, right? 2 Spell Pierces. Alright, so Nissa down. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent. Blocks, trades, goes to 7. And then we'll just run out this Fey-Wishes as a blocker. No thanks. Tap land, go. So the computer build. Oh yeah, the record should be reset. So the computer building story. I decided that Sunday was going to be my computer building day. I've never built a computer before, but I have managed to like add RAM to my computer, and I even changed a graphics processing unit, video card one time. Hey, what's up, Recall? How are you? So Sunday I started doing the computer building. Not the biggest manual guy. Like, I'm more of a figure it out as you go along kind of person, which I'm sure is probably like the worst way to build a computer. But the good news is most stuff only fits in one place. So if you just kind of like Lego it, eventually you're going to Lego it into the right spot because there's not that many places to put it. So despite my distaste for manuals, wow, opponent's playing defense? Interesting. Well, let's go attacking. So despite my distaste for manuals, oh wait, they can turn this into a 5/5. How do we close out this game? How do we win? So I managed to plug everything together, and I thought I was actually in good shape. I thought I was in good shape, and I actually did manage to put everything together properly. It took me several hours. I did plug things into the wrong place a couple times, but realized it before powering it on. We'll just blink Rallier. Get back Fauna Shaman. Opponent has big flyers, though. Alright, they take 0. Uro. Draw a card. Pass the turn. So the problem is, after I built all this, I finally hooked it up. I thought I was ready to go, but there was some issue with the GPU that wouldn't let my monitors work. Like, everything was working, the fans were on, everything seemed like I actually had done it right, but I just couldn't get it to actually show up on my monitors. I want to leave up our blinking. Maybe that was wrong to leave up the blinking, but that was my thinking, is I wanted to leave up a blink activation for interaction. Or to block with Fae of Wishes and blink it, potentially. Emil is sweet when it goes unchecked. Alright, untap. Emil 2. Well, we will discard Emil. Get... Ooh, Deputy would be so good if it resolved. Prime Speaker would also be nice. Ooh, so it took me like 4 hours maybe to like build the computer, but then it took me another 6 hours with help from Richard and Tanos to actually troubleshoot and get the monitors working. So that was the hard part. And eventually what ended up happening is it worked with my old video card. So eventually I installed Windows and did everything with my old video card. I guess this is a freebie. Corridor monitor. Wall of Chaos! Thank you for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I installed everything with my old video card. And then I put both in my computer, and after I loaded Windows, I just switched my cables over to the new video card, and it worked for some reason. And then I also like updated a bunch of drivers and stuff. So it was an adventure, and it took me like all day Sunday essentially. I just spent the whole day working on it. But now we have a nice computer that hopefully lets us actually stream and not have issues, which is hopefully going to be good. Yeah, I had to do the whole 2-for-1. Wall of Chaos. When I subscribed to this channel, it was when Panharmonicon came out. That is insane. That is so long ago. Opponent, combat. Passing. Well, Fauna Shaman. This deck does have some synergies. Discard Fauna Shaman. Get... Burning Tree Emissary, I guess. I don't even know. We're just tutoring up random things at this point. Trying to build a big enough board to win. Renegade Rallier. Blink it. Gets back Fauna Shaman. Are we wide enough to win yet? Get back Fauna Shaman. Put a counter on it. Untap. Land. How do we win? How do we win? I feel like Deputy is going to get countered like 100%. Fauna Shaman. Discard Burning Tree Emissary. Get Gilded Goose. Go to combat. So if we're going to wait one more turn. Play Gilded Goose. Get another blocker. Opponent counters it. Sure. Temporary solution. We will crack this. We don't have a land to get, but that's fine. Crack this. Uro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get back, Uro. Doesn't Hope of Gerper have to attack, though? It seems difficult to actually be able to attack. Put a land into play. Pay. All right, next turn. Next turn's the turn our opponent's going to die, I think. I think this is the turn where our opponent finally dies. Opponent plays a land. Curiosity. Curiosity. Boy, so many curiosities. Opponent's like curiosity. Okay. I think they're giving up. I think we got... This was not the combo, but... Oh. Well, that was interesting. We got to see Emil do things. What actual parts do I have in my computer? That is a good question that I don't even know the answer to. I actually don't have any idea. Thanos ordered some of the stuff. Richard helped me order the rest of it. So I just went with the experts who theoretically know what's decent. I would say my computer's, it's not like super crazy high end. I think it's a solid mid-range deck, I would say. The Jund. It's the Jund of computers. It's basically modern Jund, the computer version. But compared to what I had before, oh my goodness, it feels like I'm in a whole new world with how much smoother things run. Like, it has twice as much RAM. It actually has like a SSD hard drive. The processor is definitely an upgrade. Like, almost everything is a huge upgrade. Super expensive like Judd? No, not super expensive. Even the dollar amount is kind of complicated because Thanos very generously donated some of the parts. I'm trying to think of exactly what came from Thanos. Thanos donated like 3, the motherboard and the processor and the RAM. So that came from Thanos, and then with Richard's advice, I ordered some of the rest of the stuff to put together. So I actually don't even know exactly how much everything cost. Probably modern deck prices. That sounds about right. Do we have anything that's good against? Not really. I actually think this is probably a bad matchup, but we got there that time. Oh, it just feels so much better. It's nice to not have to worry so much about stuff crashing, or have you noticed like Arena looks smoother and it doesn't lag constantly? So I feel like it'll pay dividends for streaming and so forth. Like, it's just such a big upgrade. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Oh, we have a new donation. Beast Saffron, $10 donation. Kaldheim, strong, but trades to Lovestruck Beast. That is, thank you for the donation. That is, actually, oh, is that too loud? I can turn down the computer sounds. That is actually a very true take from me about Kaldheim. That is actually kind of what I feel like. I am worried about Lovestruck Beast, and also worried about and also worried about Bone Crusher to some extent. Okay, so chat, here's a question for you. Let's say, I think we're in trouble here. The 1-drop into card draw is just so good. So let's say, yeah, there's the counter. Ugh, I forgot how much I dislike playing against Mono Blue Tempo. Let's say they revisited the idea. Hey, what's up, Teshan? How are you? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's say they revisited the idea of having more rotations. I know some people really didn't like it when we tried it. Ugh. Yeah, nothing will be resolved. I know some people really didn't like it when they first tried it a few years ago, but that was when Paper Magic was a thing, and that was before Arena. So when does Eldraine rotate? It rotates next fall, September, October, when Innistrad are returned to. How many Innistrads are there now? I think it's just 2 Return 2s. But next time we go to Innistrad, when the fall set comes out, so it should be the end of September. So what would you think about adding more rotations? Do you think it would be a good or bad idea? Oh yeah, we're done. Opponents just had so many counters, such a fast start. Oh jeez. Ah, boo. So do you think? So what would make it good or bad? What is the why would you not like it? So I think from what I could see, the downside is, in theory, it would make things more expensive, I guess. Like, if your cards rotate sooner, you'd have to theoretically build new decks sooner. So I can see that. I do wonder if that is as relevant today as it was when paper was the main way people played Standard. Because Arena, Wizards can make that as generous as they want to. Hey, Seed Booster Therapy, thanks for hanging out. So they could, I mean, not that they would, because they're Wizards and they're greedy, but in theory, they could rotate quicker and make Arena cheaper to compensate for it. The upside would be, we would have fresher formats, essentially. Like, that would be the big upside, is rather than, just like we're at now, is Bone Crusher or Lovestruck Beast a card that I want banned? Not really. Like, they don't really seem like bannable cards to me. So, I don't want to be like, oh, they should be banned. At the same time, I'm just tired of playing against them. We played against them for 15, 16 months now. They've been at the top of the format for 15, 16 months now. And I'm just sick of them. And I feel like my worry is they push other really cool cards out of the format. That is by far my biggest concern. Is that other really sweet cards, like some Kaldheim cards, they are just gonna not be good enough if you can play a 3-mana 5/5, or you have Stomp into Bone Crusher. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Jonathan. They're not broken, they're over-centralizing. That's a very good way to put it. What do you think of digital league tournaments that ban certain cards for the tournament only? I would actually be kind of interested in, well, I mean, as a for fun thing, I think would be interesting. I don't think I would like it for, like, pro tours. I think that would be a little awkward. So I would lean towards not doing it for, like, big, crazy, professional level tournaments. But I would be fine with doing it for fun tournaments. I think that could be interesting. I'll crack this. Hopefully we stop drawing lands here. Get a plains. Renegade route. Oh, well, all right. Renegade Rallier. That's right. We're short on lands at the moment. Doodoo McGee, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you. There it is. Counter one. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup tier for you. At least we're not getting beaten down by a Curious Obsession yet. That's good news. Tempest Jin. That's awkward. Well, I mean, we can't keep this. I'm not exactly sure what our plan is for getting it back. Do we have a plan to get it back from our graveyard? Not especially. Well, we're going to take Vannifar. This is our window. This is our window to Vannifar. We can do some shenanigans, but our infinite mana piece is in the graveyard. This standard Dimir kicker control deck heavy coding with, ooh, I do like kicker decks. Thoughts on Replicating Ring with Proliferate in Historic? All right, yep. Draw your card. Big finisher like Tezzeret, Master of Metal. Replicating Ring is sweet. I think I could. Is there a Proliferate in Historic though? I guess we have some of the newer Proliferate cards. We don't have, like, Contagion Clasp or Contagion Engine. Could still be interesting, though. Well, all right. I don't know if we can piece this together or not. Let's see how far we can go. So Gilded Goose. Sack Gilded Goose. Okay, here comes the putts. Let's see. Corridor Monitor. Corridor Monitor. Uptaps Prime Speaker. All right, it's time. The time has come. Oh, opponent shame. 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 Chaos, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we can't Vannifar into, Alright, well, I guess we replay Vannifar. Nissa into Vannifar would have been sweet, but our mana's not right. I guess we hit ya. And then try to run it back next turn, maybe? How much removal can our opponent's mono blue deck actually have? Kaldheim's not even out yet. There's no blue Swords to Plowshares. There's no blue artifact 1-mana destruction. Opponent draws a card. I want a combo, though. I want a combo. Yeah, mono blue tempo is actually one of my least favorite decks to play against. I think it's just like PTSD from Standard, honestly. Like, oh my goodness. Boy, did I hate playing against this deck in Standard. The feeling of helplessness when your opponent goes one drop into Curious Obsession. Oh, I don't think I will ever forget. Well, all right. Set Corridor Monitor. Get Renegade Rallier. Get back Corridor Monitor. Untap Prime Speaker. Sack Corridor Monitor. Can we go infinite? Can we go infinite? Can we go infinite? Get Glasspool Mimic. Copy Renegade Rallier. Get back Corridor Monitor. Untap Prime Speaker. Sack Corridor Monitor. Are we going to have to pull up the primer? We might have to pull up the primer. Glasspool Mimic. Copy Renegade Rallier. Get back Corridor Monitor. Wait, so what's our next step? What's our next step? So we're at this point. We got those. Now we go for a meal, right? A meal. I think it's a meal. A meal. Blink Corridor Monitor. Untap Prime Speaker. Okay. And then... So we can just go infinite... Oh, wait, no, we need Zerta. How do we get Zerta? Set Corridor Monitor. For Zerta. Okay, we're doing it. We're doing it. We have one Burning Tree left, I think. We have the 3-mana one in our graveyard. So Zerta, reduce the cost on a meal. Then we blink Renegade Rallier. Get back Corridor Monitor. I think we did it without funning. Untap Prime Speaker. Last piece, float mana. Sack Llanowar Elves. Burning Tree. Blink Burning Tree. Infinite mana. Yes, yes, it's happening. This Emil trigger is annoying, though. How do we win from here, though? What's our next step? Do this until we time out and then celebrate? I mean, I guess we could keep untapping Prime Speakers and getting more stuff. But what is our actual, like, I win plan? How do we actually close out the game? We got the combo. It is the combo. This is what we tried to do. Lucid, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So make a bunch of mana. Opponent not scooping yet. Okay. I guess we might as well play Nissa. Opponent counters. I'll go back to making mana. So now we can... How do we win? So now we blink Corridor Monitor. Oh, we get all... Okay. So we get all of our creatures. Yeah, this works. I see. Because we get all of our creatures back from the graveyard as well. All of our cheap ones. So we do this, then we can sack Fauna Shaman to get a 3-drop, which will be, Glasspool Mimic, copying Renegade Rallier to get back Fauna Shaman. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. We're actually doing it. And then we blink Burning Tree. I mean, I think we can win this eventually. In a really weird roundabout way. Blink Corridor Monitor. Untap Vannifar. Keep it going. I can't believe our opponent's sitting this out. Sack Fauna Shaman. Get a Knight of Autumn. Now we have Infinite Life. Infinite Life is also very good. An opponent. I guess we could have done that a long time ago. I mean, we could have got the Fae of Wishes. So, okay, so from that position, we got a bunch of ways we could win. So we can gain infinite life. The other way we can win is we keep tutoring stuff. We tutor out all 3 of our Uros. Our Uros draws us cards. We have infinite mana. We eventually tutor out Fae of Wishes. We pick up the Fae of Wishes, discarding the cards that we draw with Uro. We cast Fae of Wishes to tutor Banefire. The only downside with that is our opponent still has mana up, so if they have another negate or something, they'd be able to stop that plan. The other thing we could do is just literally put all of our... I guess we could make a bunch of mana and blink Uro a bunch of times to draw our deck that way. So there's a whole bunch of ways. Like, from this position, no matter how much you stumble, it's really hard to lose. Like, everything you do is generating a ton of value. The problem is our Fauna Shamans are summoning sick because we keep sacking them, but that would be another option. Negate would stop the adventure side, right? No. They could stop the Fae of Wishes from tutoring up the Banefire. Once we get the Banefire, they can't counter it, but they could stop the wishing with Fae of Wishes. That was good. That was real good. And that was against a really tough matchup. That was against the infinite counterspell deck. Maybe this deck's broken. Is this deck broken? Fae of Wishes can be brought back by Renegade Rallier. Oh, I guess we could also do that. Oh, there's so many shenanigans. Emil is so sweet. The Sea Shanty meme. I have not. What is a new Sea Shanty meme? Is this there is a Grazer in the deck. I swear it's in the deck just to troll me, but it is in the deck. It's not broken. Okay, well, we will... Ugh, no. Well, I guess we technically have 2 lands. 2 lands, 1 Grazer. Sounds like a... Alright. Two lands, one Grazer is an X-rated Magic YouTube video or something, I'm sure. Also something you really just don't want in your hand. Grazer with 2 lands is not ideal. Speak and it shall appear. Yeah, I mean, Grazer's always lurking. There's always, whether you want it or not, there's always a Grazer right around the corner. So we're probably going to get Wrathed. Well, hope of Gerper, I guess. Go 1-1. Ooh, if you could a Pro Tour could design a card, what would it be? Ooh. The most pushed land destruction spell that Wizards would allow me to print in Standard. I want Standard land destruction. I want the Standard land destruction. I think that would be at the top of my list. It would. The problem is they would probably make me print like a 4-mana land destruction spell, and then I would lose all interest. Do you think Icebreaker Kraken could be fun in blue-black landfall value EDH deck with Tetiyova? Benthic Druid, Tyrant of the Gyre Straits, Titan of Nature's Wrath as a commander. Yeah, I think it could be interesting. I think if you can... We didn't actually really look at that one. That was the last, I think the last rare to be spoiled. Icebreaker Kraken, 12 mana 8/8, costs 1 less for each snowland. When it enters the battlefield, you tap artifacts and creatures target opponent controls. They don't untap during the next untap step, and then you can bounce it by bouncing 3 snowlands to your hand. The only thing I would say is I wish it tapped all of your opponent's stuff. I'm actually a little surprised that it doesn't, because Wizards tends to have commander in mind, it seems, with like every card they print these days. So it's weird to me that it doesn't hit all opponents. That makes me a little bit less excited. Like, it's still fine, even just hitting one opponent, but if it hit all of your opponents, I would be even more hyped about it for commander, but I still think it could work well in that deck. Wow, another huge donation. Hey, Seth, having a rough week. Oh, I'm sorry, Dryce. Well, there's a Wrath. Well, we can follow it up with nothing. Sad Grazer. No Emil mana. Having a rough week. Thank you for being a constant source of happiness and positivity. Well, Dryce, I hope the week gets better. Everyone has rough weeks sometimes, and I hope it's about to turn around. Thank you so much for the donation and for the kind words. Like, I'm flattered that if I could be any small source of happiness in your rough week. So listen to the podcast this week. I think Richard's opinion of the Wrath was kind of funny, considering all the power creep we've had. Yeah, that's kind of how I look at it. Like, in a lower powered world, we just really do nothing. Is that where we're at? Just literal nothing. Oh, we're in... All right. Well... Oh, this Grazer. The Grazer! It's doing the Grazer thing. It's mocking us. It's mocking us like it always does. Your Prime with the gift sub from Elf. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup here for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've got a jury duty coming to me in a few weeks and a video interview on Thursday. Ooh. Well, good luck with the interview. Notifications sounds still need to be turned down more. All right, I will turn them down a bit more. Thank you again so much for the big donation. Hey, what's up, Average Fox? How are you? I'll play Fauna Shaman. Legend! Welcome to the Fishbowl. I feel like it's not turning them down. That's very strange. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I'll hit you with a rallier. Well, maybe the brokenness that we were thinking as of last round is not... Maybe it's not as broken as it felt like during our epic combo. Now it feels a little clunky right now. And we have a Grazer at hand, which makes it... I can deal with clunky, but clunky with Grazer mocking me? That's the worst. Yeah, I will discard this Grazer super quick if we untap with Fauna Shaman. Snapped is good. That's one thing Grazer is good for. It is good at being discarded and turned into a real go. Oh, no. No, the Grazer survives. Opponent just will not let us get rid of it. So, chat, we've seen essentially the entire set. What's the number one card? I don't care if it's Commander, Standard, whatever format you enjoy. What is your personal number one card that you just cannot wait to build around? Or theme if you want, I don't care. It's a tribal set. If you got a theme you're hyped for, that's fine too. But what's at the top of your list? Tybalt's high on my list too. Foretell Wrath, I don't know how you build around it, but I think that card is a new staple in multiple formats. Yeah, that card is insane. Godland. Oh, yeah, the Godland's really cool. I love the Godland. That card's really, really sweet. Snow Figure of Destiny, I think that's a sleeper. I think that's going to be good. Turn 1 Tibalt, am I high on your list? I mean, yeah, I could deal with some Turn 1 Tibalding. What do you think about Tibalt's Trickery? Is Tibalt's Trickery going to actually be a legitimate card? I think I'm still kind of with Tibalt's Trickery. I'm still kind of leaning on. Vorinclex is super sweet. I'm still kind of expecting Tibalt's Trickery. Yeah, well, exile some stuff. Uro. On the backup plan. Opponent's got some nice sleeves. I'm still kind of expecting Tibalt's Trickery to. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, we're going to get buried under this as Kanta value. I'm still kind of expecting that Tibalt's Trickery is going to be a staple counter spell. Whether or not it actually develops into a top tier. Oh dear. Whether or not it actually develops into a top tier deck as a combo piece. Oh, the Changeling Mythic. Oh my goodness, that card is so fun. Like, that is one of the most fun cards. There's combos with it. There's so many sweet things. Yeah, the Tibalt Trickery Cascade deck does seem cool. I don't know. I think I gotta wait till the set comes out and get a chance to play it. My initial impression is it's like a really strong against the odds deck, but it's possible that it's more than that and I am underrating it. That is a possibility. Oh, what do we even get? The sideboard. So we know opponent has a cast out. River's Rebuke isn't great. Yeah. Well, I guess we name us Kanta. I still think we're in a really bad spot. Pass the turn. Yeah, my concern with the Cascade deck is just the whiff rate. I really want to try to brew with it a bit and see if there's a way. I've had people send me decks that are like 4 Tibalt's Trickeries, a bunch of Persistent Petitioners or Shadowboard Apostles, 4 Emeralds or whatever, or some number of finishers. And then, or like 12 finishers, whatever number. But the problem is, then you cascade into Tibalt's Trickery, or Trickery into Trickery. And that is a problem. So you're like 80% to hit a finisher. The Cascade deck, way more consistent. You're not mulliganing into Tibalt's Trickery, but then you're still adding more whiffs because you have like Simian Spirit Guides, you have Praetors, so you have more whiffs in the deck. So your hit rate, I tried to calculate it. I think it's like maybe high 60%, but your odds of actually getting to the Tibalt's Trickery are higher. So I don't know. Is that a high enough rate to be an amazing against odds deck? For sure. Like, all those decks will be spectacular, fun. I can't wait to play them. Is that going to be enough for it to be, like, a new top-tier modern deck? Boy, this is not good. All right. Why, we're doing nothing. Well, we could use Fae of Wishes to that. All right. Sure, they got Wheel Narset. That's fine. That is a good combo. I will say that I don't know about this sideboard 100%. I feel like I like some of the ideas of the sideboard, but I do wonder if we could use some mystical disputes, or if it needs to be all wish targets. Because we really just, like, no sideboard. We're meme or dreaming. 92% without Simian Spirit Guide. Really? I mean, I guess that's probably counting the Praetors as a hit. The question is, like, do you count Praetors as a hit? And I don't know what the answer is. I'm not 100% sure that a Praetor wins the game on, like, turn 3 in Modern. In Modern, like, does a Praetor even get through a Death Shadow on turn 3? I'm not 100% sure. So I think... yeah, I don't know. You play the stuff to speed up the deck to get around your opponent's disruption, but then you have more whiffs. You play it without the stuff to speed up the deck. You have much less whiffs, but then you're going on turn 3 and turning on Archmage's Charm and Mana Leaks and a bunch more like counter spells that wreck you. You play with 1 Tibalt's Trickery, but then how are you going to find it? You play 4 of them, but then you Tibalt's Trickery into it. I think it's a really sweet puzzle, and I'm excited to see what people come up with. I feel like it's the kind of thing if someone can figure out a way to have the hit rate high enough that it's essentially game winning. Uh, and I guess the other thing is you have a little bit of the zombie hunt problem. So you also have to be consistent enough that you don't lose to a single thought seizer interactive spell, or else then you're just kind of like essentially doing zombie hunt, but in a cool new way. Because zombie hunt is like really good and consistent in doing its thing if your opponent doesn't interact with you. So that's the other thing. If it's like, okay, if you don't thought seize me and you don't have any counters and you don't have any interaction, then I do this really sweet thing. That's sweet, but it's also like, I don't know, a little zombie hunt-esque. So it might still end up more against that. I really don't know. But it's one of the cards I'm most excited to build decks around. And that's the other question. Like, if you're going to Cascade, maybe you just Cascade into Tybalt. Because that also seems pretty powerful. Like, Simian Spirit Guide, Cascade spell, hit Tybalt on, like, turn 1 or turn 2. It seems like Tybalt should be good enough to be a pretty high percentage of modern decks on turn 1 or turn 2. We were talking about Tybalt's Trickery and the math and like how to build Tybalt's Trickery decks, mostly in modern, but no, Trickery hits any spell, so you can kind of like polymorph yourself essentially, or try to polymorph yourself. Although the way to build around it is the tricky part. Hey, Seth the chat. I was looking through some older deck ideas to see if I should update them, and I was wondering if I could get some help with one if I shared it. Yeah, Mackie, please do. I would love to take a look. Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, I guess it was intentional that you'd be able to cascade into the MDFCs, but it is a little strange. It almost, do you remember when they printed the split cards, and the rule was, it made Brain in the Jar broken for a little tiny bit of time. Does anyone remember that? How you could Brain in the Jar and cast, like, the full version of Beck Call with Brain in the Jar on 2 or whatever? And then Wizards, like, changed the rules specifically to get around that combo. So I wonder if, like, cascading into Tybalt becomes too big of a deal. I wonder if Wizards could possibly consider changing the rules. Like, I think cascading into Tybalt's probably fine and fair enough, but yeah, I really like that. That was a super fun time. There was also, oh man, Brain of the Jar was actually cool. There was a standard mono blue deck. Oh, what was the finisher? It was a 6-mana sorcery that made a bunch of zombies based on instants of sorceries in your graveyard. I want to say like Rise from the Tides or something. Oh, that was a fun deck. Man, Brain made some really fun decks. Yes, Rise from the Tides. There was a lot of fun decks built around Brain in the Jar. That was one of my favorite eras of Magic, I think. That time frame. I don't know if we never get back to it, or if we just power creeped into a new era, but boy, there was some fun stuff. That was also like, Cuneo. That was also Cuneo, like, playing Sphinx's tutelage in a pro tour with the Is It Tutelage deck. Oh, man. Maybe it's just nostalgia, but there were some really cool decks at that point. Yeah, release to the winds, I think, is the best way to do an Historic. That's also on the top of my list, is Valky, release to the winds, play your Tybalt, win the game. I would be surprised if Manador Beatdown gets there, but you never know. Just played against all control tonight. Mono blue tempo with all the counters into Azorius control. Kind of a weird meta tonight. Well, go Llanowar Elves. Are we getting settled? All right. Well, pass the turn. 2 more turns of the 1/1s, maybe. Well, let me see, Mackie. Obliterator is super sweet too. Just beat Obliterator with mono. How'd you pull that off? Bluba. How are? Oh, I've actually never seen this idea before. That's actually kind of hilarious. We are not going to put that on the top. Wow, the fact that our opponent's Ether Gusting Llanowar is a good sign. So the idea of this deck appears to be get Emrakul on the top of your deck with Sage Owl, with some Sage card essentially, Index even. Get on the top of your deck, and then manifest the top of your deck with something like Right into Being or Soul Summons, and then Ephemerate to flip up the Emrakul into the Game Ender. That's definitely a cool idea. I have not seen that idea before. His opponent does have the Wrath. We do not really have a follow up. I guess. All right, Gilded Goose, Corridor. Boy, our creatures are not very good at attacking. We're learning that. So how would I improve that deck? So I think the answer would be I would probably try to include some interaction. I think a lot of it will depend on your budget. If you have a high budget, then something like Force Negation would be a really good option. Path to Exile is not super expensive. So that would be the main thing I would say is instead of another one. Instead of playing exclusively combo pieces, play mostly combo pieces, but then also add in some interaction to protect your combo. Snapcaster also seems like it'd be good if budget's not a concern. So yeah, I think if you're a really fast two-card combo, you can sometimes get away without playing any interaction and just trust that you're going to goldfish your way to the win before your opponent can do anything. But if you're kind of like a 3-ish card combo, a little bit slower combo, I think the interaction is key. Ooh, Thassa could be a cool way. Cool blink effect. Don't know if you're still talking commander bans, but please ban card draw. The amount of times you guys take turns off to draw cards hurts. Can we scoop, chat? Can we scoop yet and go to the next one? A Tiny Dirty Bodie! Welcome to the Fishbowl for the 5th month. Thank you for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. All right. Informal straw poll. Can we go to the next game? We have 0 cards in hand against... Yeah, okay. Good enough. Wait for it to ferry. All right, we can wait for the ferry. I don't want to be the early scoop guy. I don't want to get yelled at. I'm just here so I don't get fined. I don't know if that meme's relevant anymore. That's an old one. One more turn. All right, we'll give it one more draw. Or if our opponent's okay, another Narset. So it's not a counter directly. Well, untap. All right, more lands. Let's go to the next one. We're not 0%, but it is not going to be a fun rest of that match. B. Washup, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. All right, let's play a non-control deck. Something with less counters. Although we did overcome mono blue, so we know we can do it. Hey Seth, I see this set. I asked the question, could standard be fixed if instead of a bajillion set instead of standard, they could make standard the 3 latest sets with synergies between them or realms? Because like this would be more fair fun magic, be an important part for building decks because having 7 or 8 sets in a rotation means too much. It makes for a huge mess. So Toko, I kind of like a version of that idea personally. Wow, more subs. Thank you for all the subs tonight. Nelsmat and Kyber, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. So I feel like standard being like 3 sets would be too little and probably pretty limiting. But I would enjoy, Kamaza, welcome to the Fishbowl. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. I would enjoy it being a little bit faster. Like maybe right now we get up to 8 sets in standard. Maybe the max is more like 6, where you rotate twice a year, 2 sets go out or something like that. I do wonder if blocks are part of it, although at the same time, or the lack of blocks is part of it, but at the same time, I feel like Wizards has started to blockify our non-block sets, if that makes any sense. Like, Yeah, it's not quite like it used to be where you're like Ravnica, Ravnica, Ravnica for the whole year. But if you look at Zendikar and then you look at Keldheim, you have like the MDFC crossover. You have a lot of tribal crossover. So I kind of feel like Wizards is trying to add a little bit of that into their current design. So it's not as much as it was back when we had actual blocks, but I feel like they're trying to tie sets together a little bit more, make them a little more blocky. Man, getting to keep that mana dork would have meant we could have got Nissa down, and that would have been really good. Soft tackle, still more subs. Thank you so much. 43 months. Welcome to the fishbowl. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Priest of the Forgotten God. And more cats. Cats for days. Well, it's not control. Telio, welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. What's your opinion about banning cards interactions as a card? So I couldn't play two cards together, but try them individually. So I guess I have two thoughts on that. One is, yeah, we can't attack through the cats. One is, I'm not sure if it really matters for most cards. So like, we saw that in standard with copycat combo. So like, if you ban Felidar Guardian, really you're kind of banning Saheeli too. Like, I guess it's not technically banned, but for a lot of like combo type bannings, you're essentially banning both cards anyway, because they're only played because of the combo. Like when you ban Splinter Twin, no one plays Pestermite anymore, type of thing. So that's one thing. So I don't know if it really would change a whole lot. The other thing is, some cards aren't really interactive cards. Like Uro, for example, or Oko. There's not really any synergy or combo there. You're just kind of like, I'm really too good. So with those cards, it wouldn't make a difference anyway. And it is really complicated to keep track of. So I would lean towards no, personally, on banning interactions over banning cards. All right. Opponent's going off. Playing a land, a low Strider. Oh, we just cannot, for the life of us, find a land. Well, discard Uro. Get Deputy. Get rid of the priest, at least for the moment. I don't like where we're at, though. I don't like where we're at. We're not getting Grazer. We refuse. I mean, we get a little bit of creature interaction, but we're not a heavily interactive deck, no. Well, all right, pass the turn. I mean, we really want a combo. We really want a combo. So yeah, I like the idea of reevaluating how we do bannings, though. Like, I don't really like that specific idea too much personally of banning interactions, but in our current era with so many push cards and so much power creep, our opponents sack their priest and then they're going to steal and sack the deputy. That's kind of awkward. I mean, to get rid of the deputy, I guess, but I guess they keep us from blinking it with a meal. Crocs, sure. Oh, we're probably just dead, I think. I personally think that Cat Oven is 10 times worse than Nexus of Fate. It is annoying, but it is easier to interact with. Like, Graveyard Hate does shut it down pretty good. Unfortunately, we're playing this Wish sideboard. I think if there's one big thing I would change from this deck, it would probably be the sideboard to have a little bit more of actual like interaction and hate cards. Yeah, Broken looking a little less likely. Do I expect bannings from Keldheim? So at first glance, I don't see anything from Keldheim that looks bannable. Like, what's the closest card to being bannable from Keldheim? I don't know. Maybe like Valky with some of the sneaky synergies of getting to get a quick to vault. If that became like a top tier thing, although I even wonder if they might change the rules before that. But maybe that would be something in the conversation. I do think there will be complaining from standard players about Doomscar. Some people really hate Rast, so I would not be surprised. Like, a control deck develops, Doomscar's blowing out people's creatures, and you hear a lot of complaining. I don't think Wizards would actually ban it, but I do think it'll be a card that a segment of the population will complain about. Oh, this is so rough. Well, Burning Tree doesn't do anything, so we'll discard it. I think we're just dead, though. We can't even play a Prime Speaker. This doesn't do anything. I mean, I guess we can just keep urwing until we find a land. The green enchantment in Search of Greatness, I think the card was more likely to end up unplayable than banned, but it is the kind of card that could support a combo. So if there is a devastating combo deck, like Neo brand style combo deck, that I could see an argument for, but really, there isn't anything that jumps out to me as likely being bannable from Kaldheim. There's not a Uru in this set, let's say. There's no card that, when I saw it, there's a lot of cards I like and are really unique. And I like how Wizards is pushing complexity, pushing into new areas. We're seeing this theme of, like, mana not emptying from your phases. We're seeing the weird, like, damage trampling over. We're seeing cards that have just done things, tokens being made all over the place of permanents and spells. So I like the things Wizards are doing. But there's nothing that I saw and was like, oh my god, that's the most broken thing I've ever seen. Like, no jaw dropper in the way that Uro was. I do really think that Nico's a sleeper, though. That's a card. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go down the in flames with Nico. I'm gonna stand behind that one. Just wait and see. 6 months from now, a year from now, I think that's gonna be one of the literal best cards in the entire set. So we'll see. We'll see if it pans out. It very well could not, but do we even live through this turn? 1, 2, 3, 4. Block. I don't know if we live through this turn. I mean, if we untap with a board in Vannifar, maybe. I mean, I definitely could be wrong, and I know that that's possible. It could be the next. Oh, now we're definitely super duper ultra dead. Yeah, the lack of a sideboard is a problem. That is a problem. So I think if I was going to rebuild this, like, I'm not really sure what we're doing with a lot of these cards. So I think if I was going to rebuild this deck, I would probably keep the Wish plan for the finish and a couple of Wish cards. But then I would also, rather than like try to use our one of Fae of Wishes to wish for a card to wish for something else, I would probably replace some of this stuff with some like Mystic Disputes, some Graph Digger's Cages, and play like half a Wish board and half of a real sideboard. I know I could be wrong, said the man who claimed Siege Rhino would maybe see play after Blue Grottoes rotated. that one I don't think was me. I think Siege Rhino was back, I think, before I was making harsh claims over anything. If anything, I mean, we played 34 Rhinos. I was the biggest Rhino supporter literally in the entire multiverse. So here's my argument for Nico. It draws a bunch of cards, and it scales well to the late game. The enchantment clues, shards, work really well with enchantment synergies, but I think it's just a good card advantage, cheap planeswalker. Like, it's like the 3-mana Jace, except 100 times better. It's like a 3-mana Jace with a bunch of synergies that doesn't just die instantly, can actually gain loyalty. I think it's going to be really good. That's a card that, for me, is... I think it's way higher on my list than most people's lists, but I think that the card advantage engine is going to be good. Kaya, I think, is fun. I like the -3 hitting anything, but Isekai is more of a like 1/2 of in a random mid-range deck style Planeswalker rather than a like 4 of staple style Planeswalker. The other thing about Nico is I think that Nico's cheap enough that Modern's in the conversation, at least for me. Maybe I'm just like irrationally high. It reminds me of Tireless Tracker, and Tireless Tracker's a real card. I think that Angels have some potential. I think Angels might also be one of the best homes. Yeah, our lack of removal. The combo suite, the lack of removal, was slightly troubling. Well, Uro. Oh, even so many lands. I'll put a land into play. Yeah, Priest is one of the cards you don't really want to see from the sacrifice deck when you can't kill it. It can run away with a game. But Nico, you have to pay up front. Tireless Tracker, the bonus gets the bonus of landfall. That's true. That is true to an extent. I mean, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. At the same time, the X aspect of Nico scales well to the late game. So you can cast it on turn 3 or cast it on turn 10 and get a bunch of shards. So I think that is a upside. I like that you can cast it on turn 4, X1, and then take it down to immediately make a shard. And even if it dies, you've gotten 2 shards out of it, which are pretty powerful. I don't know. Maybe I'm overrating it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't like this position. We might have to. What do you think? Should we? Yeah. Like, what do we even do with this? We take it up and just sacrifice our lands into this priest? None of this feels good. None of this feels even a little bit good. I'll pass the turn. I mean, I guess we've also brutally flooded this game. And Nico has sweet synergies picking up stuff. Am I a Coheed and Cambria fan? Oh, alright. Sure. Not really. I've had friends that were, like, really into Coheed and Cambria, so I've heard a bit of them. But they've never been someone that I, like, listen to all the time. Opponent gets and hits us. Midnight Reba. Cauldron Familiar. Yeah, this one's over. All right, let's look at the sideboard real quick. We might still try the Haphazard Bombardment deck if y'all want to. Before we move on to the next thing, a quick reminder that our sponsor tonight is Card Kingdom. And if you need some Kaldheim cards or other cards, you get them over at cardkingdom.com. So thank you to Card Kingdom for supporting the show. Oh, there's an it. Yeah, you must have missed. We comboed off in our first match. It is pretty convoluted to describe, but it involves sacking a lot of things, eventually ending up with the ability to blink either Ardent Electromancer or Burning Emissary with Emil for a single mana to make infinite mana, and then either like tutor up your whole deck in a really convoluted way with Renegade Ralliers, or tutor something from the sideboard to win. Okay, yeah, I feel, so here's my criticism. We only got 1 Fate Wishes. I feel like if you're going to dedicate your entire sideboard to a Fate Wishes plan, that you probably want to have more than 1 Fate Wishes. Because we don't see Fate Wishes very often. And then we are punished by not having a sideboard. So I still want to leave some of these options in the sideboard and leave the Fate Wishes in our deck. But I think, like, we don't need 2 Karn's Temporal Sunderings. I don't know if we need River's Rebuke. God Pharaoh's Gift is kind of cute. I don't think we want this Karn. Is shutting down artifacts relevant enough? Probably not. And then when we go down Tormod's Crypt, we can go down Ruined Halo. We can go down Nissa. We can go down God Pharaoh's Gift, I think. Tameo getting stuff back from the graveyard is somewhat relevant. Ratchet Bomb is okay. Spyglass is okay. And then I think we want, like, a bunch of, well, we can't really Grafdigger's Cage though, can we? Because that fizzles our combo. How can we beat graveyard decks? Or do we got to play like Rest in Peace fizzles our combo? This is good because it stops. Yeah, we can't actually play Grafdigger's Cage. Well, we can Mystical Dispute. That's an easy inclusion. What is our best option? Black Ley Line is a good one, but it's a little bit of a bummer that we don't actually have black mana. Kira Ashmore, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ooze makes a lot of sense. Because we can tutor it up with our playset of Fauna Shamans. Ooze. So I like the Ooze. What about Goblins? Maybe... Yeah, Authority, like, buys us a turn. Authority is okay. Authority's fine. How do we exile? How about the Immortal Sun? We have a lot of ramp. I don't know. I also really like Immortal Sun more than most people. Maybe we just dodge goblins. I mean, goblins are not like super good on a tournament scale, but they still show up on Arena. I feel like we still need more graveyard hate. We can't play Rest in Peace. We need a Grafdigger's Cage that doesn't hit us. That's the dream. Grafdigger's Cage, except one-sided. Although, actually, I don't want more one-sided hate cards, but... One single Ooze might not be enough to get the job done. Maybe we bring the Ashiok back. Ashiok and Ooze? That might be... Is that enough? That might be enough. Perhaps. Going into black, the only downside is that means we got to rebuild the mana base. And I don't know if I want to deal with rebuilding the mana base. All right, let's try it. Let's try it. So we got Ooze and Ashiok. We could still play a Crypt. Crypt doesn't stop goblins, but it does shut down the graveyard or Soul Guide Lantern. Ooh. Could we sack the Containment? Well, this is a hand where Grazer does things. The rest of our hand doesn't do much, but we're gonna trust in the Grazer. This is Grazer's chance to redeem itself. After mocking us for 2.5 years, if we Grazer and then draw like Vannifar, I will take back at least some of the mean things I've said about this Grazer. Taflan go. Hey, how are you doing, Vijay? I'm having fun. Hopefully y'all are too. It's Grazer time. Okay. Well, more land's not ideal. Send the Grazer message. Yeah, Grazer doesn't want to be redeemed. Grazer's... Oh, no. Well, this is the nightmare when you keep a land-heavy hand, is just to keep drawing lands, and we're at the nightmare stage. And we're playing control again. So many controls. Are the Bills going to circle the wagons against the Chiefs on Sunday? Hopefully. Hey, what's up, Radio Ashley? How are you? VoxChat, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now we might as well Uro. Yeah, I think the Bills got a shot. I would say the Chiefs are favored. And I think the Chiefs are probably clearly favored if Mahomes plays, but I think the Bills are not that far behind the Chiefs, honestly. Opponent. Yeah, you can zoom in on cards. Cardboard Live is really sweet. Does Richard have a goldfish? Oh boy, that's really good against. That's a card we were just talking about. Hey, welcome, Dark. Good to have you. Contact at mtggoldfish.com goes to Richard. So that's probably the best way. I don't. Oh, mocked. We're mocked. All right. Well, yeah, I'm playing the Vannifar. Oh, this one might be over though. Main deck Grafdigger's Cage. And every counter in existence. No. Oh yeah, Richard runs the Goldfish Twitter. I feel like if the Bills won the Super Bowl, you'd still be worried they'd lose the trophy on the way back to Buffalo. I mean, I am a Bills fan. That's kind of par for the course for being a Bills fan. You're used to the Bills. Oh dear, you're used to the Bills being horrible. That's just like that's been my entire lifetime of Bills fandom since I was like a little kid. Was the last time they were actually good. Opponent cycles the sensor, draws a card. Yeah, we are brutally flooding out here. Opponent passes. Fauna Shaman. Would you like to counter it? Oh. I don't know if this deck's not as good as I was hoping, or if we've just been hitting, like, a lot of rough matchups. Booted. Beveling End. It's our Fauna Shaman. Lots of removal. Those mystical disputes in our sideboard could be helpful, though. Speaking of mystical disputes in our sideboard, let's go get them. Like, I know it looks like that game is close because no one's taking damage, but in reality, against the control deck, when you do nothing and they do nothing, the control deck is winning turn by turn. Like, every turn that goes by with us not doing anything and our opponent doing things is a turn that we are falling further and further behind. Hey, what's up, Sally Zell? How are you? Yeah, we're hitting control like crazy. Oh man, boy, I love losing Super Bowls. I remember my friends when I was a little kid who were not Bills fans making fun of Bills fans with that. That was like a thing people said all the time. How many Orvar decks do you expect to see at a Gets Odds and elsewhere? Looks super sweet. That one is high on my list. Q is 564453. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Yeah, that one's high on my list. That's one of the cards I am most excited to play for streams and videos. So hopefully there will be many because that card is just so cool. Spicy Vannifar. We've gotten to fully go off with it once, which is sweet. We've also just played against infinite control decks. So what's bad? We probably need... So Selfless Savior seems good. How many lands do we have? 23 and a Floral Hedron? It's hard to cut too much because so many of our slots are dedicated to combo pieces. That's one of the drawbacks, I would say, is there's a lot of stuff we just really can't, in good conscience, cut from our deck. All right, try it like that, maybe. We got the combo off once and it was amazing. It was so sweet. So we just gotta wait. We only need to untap with Vannifar for one turn, and we do really sweet things. We've also just kind of run pretty awkwardly, but... Alright, opponent's turn to do some mulliganing. Oh yeah, I forgot about the glass pool. So we have plenty of lands. We have like 27. Oh, wow! Oh my goodness, everyone is a sub now apparently. A ridiculous amount of gift subs from Zero Quide to, I don't know if I'd read them all. Tian, Dull, Doofus, Trilliminius, Hydro Panicked, Irva Grace, Rageous Jr., GDK All Day, Top Deck Time, Avery, $200 Jeans, $200 jeans. The saddle sniffer. Twitch names are the best. Sing O Muse, TC Blanket, The Floor Lord, Brother Zora, Slap That Bass, and Call in the Herd, and Moldy Calzone, and Smart But Too Ruthless. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription, and thank you so much to Zero Quad for handing out a ton of gift subs. That is a massive, massive pile of gift subs. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I actually hope that it wiggles. Welcome to it wiggles. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I actually hope that Brady makes it to the Super Bowl. I think that is what the Bills need. Winning the Super Bowl would be good, but the real way to shake off the past million years of losing is to not just go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, but to beat Brady in the Super Bowl. That's the dream. The downside is upstate New York would probably literally burn to the ground if that happened. Bills fans, I don't know if you've ever seen like Bills Mafia. They tend to get pretty over the top, and that's with the Bills being horrible every year. I don't even want to know what would get destroyed if the Bills actually won the Super Bowl over Brady. To Balloon and Grizzly Mites with a gift sub from Chuck E. Bananas. Thank you so much, Chuck E. Bananas. Welcome you both to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Manadork. Play a land. Will they run out of counters? Will they ever run out of counters? Yeah, we played against I guess we played Jund Sacrifice once, or Rakdos Sacrifice, but we played against Control so much tonight. So much. Oh, right now we're trying to Vannifar combo through a lot of Control decks. We might play, I don't know. We might try the Haphazard Bombardment deck at some point. The Haphazard Bombardment deck might be better if everyone's controlling. Baffling End. Still leaving up counter mana. Hitting us. Yeah. Goes to combat. I'll crack this. Grab a land. The Bills Mafia very much is cruel. That is true. I would like to resolve Immortal Sun, but I don't know if that's practical. I feel like our opponent still has a lot of counters left. Well, that's Deputy. Opponent. They definitely have a counter. They don't know if they want to use it. I was thinking about this the other day. All right, let's get Baffling End. What is the difference between a Calzone and Stromboli? Is the difference that a Calzone does not have sauce in it and a Stromboli does? Does anyone know the actual like technical answer to this? Is it really just a shape? Oh, it's really as simple as that. So it's ingredients and stuff are the same, and it's just the shape of it. Oh, ricotta. Yeah, ricotta. I don't know about ricotta. Ricotta is in a calzone, right? But it's not in a stromboli. I mean, now we're talking about food that I do like. I mean, stromboli and calzones, you can't go wrong with that. I mean, honest question, Chad. Do any of you not like pizza? Is that a real thing? Are there human beings in existence that are just like, no, I don't like this? I mean, obviously, you know, it wouldn't be healthy to eat it all the time, but just like, is there any person in the world that just like, no? If someone offered you a free pizza with your most ideal toppings, is there anyone that would be like, no? Okay, better question. Would you date someone who did not like pizza? Caliber would. Your significant other does not like pizza. I didn't know that. I mean, I assumed there was someone out there, but Detroit style no, Detroit style pizza. Come on now. Come on now. No, 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 no. New York style pizza. Detroit style pizza. Don't give me that, Detroiters. It's gotta be. Isn't New York known for the best pizza? Well, I think we finally get down our immortal son, which is good. And then we kill Teferi just in case. About it. Taking the beats. I mean, yeah, I guess you can't go wrong with any of it. Like any style of pizza minus anchovies. I don't think that's a style, but I mean, you can't really go wrong. You can't really go wrong with any style. I will say, so I've never actually had like Italian style pizza, but I have seen Mangu, I think, posting pictures because Andrea always. Oh my god. Andrea always posts pictures of really delicious looking food, and I will say, I'm honestly not super impressed with how Italian pizza looks. I don't think it looks very good. I don't think it looks. I don't know. It looks too healthy. It looks too healthy. Pizza is supposed to be like just a big mound of grease and meats and cheeses that is clogging your arteries and bringing you closer to a heart attack. When I've seen the pictures that Andrea's posted, it looks like healthy pizza. I mean, Italians make great food, so it's not a knock on Italian food. Italian food is delicious, but I think New York's got him as far as pizza is concerned. Bowling alley pizza is the best pizza. Is that an actual genre of? I didn't realize that was a. Oh no! All right, I didn't realize that was an actual genre of pizza. All right, let's do our little shenanigans here. Did I pay the one? Oh no, it paid the one. Oh, that's really bad. All right. We might have cost ourselves an Euro trigger. I think that we accidentally paid the one for a meal there, but no, Haphazard. 1-2-3, 1-2-3. We definitely accidentally paid the one for a meal. Draw to Euro getting even better. There's a Shark Typhoon. Opponent passes. Well, let's do it again. Euro. Euro comes into play. Draws us a card. We put a land into play untapped. We blink Uro. We draw a card. I mean, it's a combo. It's a combo. Then we blink Uro. I mean, that's our turn, I guess. Refilling our hand. Blink Uro. It dies. Decline. 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 Llanowar. Hit ya. Mimic. Actually, we don't really need another land. Haphazard. Well, we drew some cards. Opponent's down to 6. Opponent plays a land. Tap goes up to 7. It's a cheaty land. I have never had a Michi pizza. Is a Michi's pizza good? No. Go to combat. Attack ya. Opponent takes it. Prime Speaker. Oh! Aww. Aww. not good at drawing sideboard cards either. Oh my! No! No! Whoa! So we needed to not cast spells for the rest of the game? Oh, I guess we were supposed to not cast spells. Desorker, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What a turn for our opponent. Well, let's granted. If they drew an absorb, I swear. I swear. No. Take an extra turn, bounce a shark. They can make a token. So we still can't really attack. We have another new donation. So many donations tonight. Thank you so much. And gift subs, too. Thank you so much, everyone. From Alex Mateo. We draw land. Seth. You truly don't know the true graces of Italian pizza. I've had pizza from all around the world and spent my fair share of vacations in Italy. And trust me when I tell you the best, the best are there. Also, they just look healthy, trust. Okay, I'll have to give it a fair shot. I think the look of healthiness. We don't actually have red mana at the moment. Is the main issue with main fire. Oh, Fae of Wishes. Discard. Pick it up. Granted. I don't know when or if we'll get red mana though. Like that's the issue. I don't know if we'll ever get it. We might not. Opponent does not realize that we cannot cast the Banefire. Oh, can I send you the Gladiator details through email about queues and leagues? Yes, please, Oddity Odyssey. I would appreciate that. SaffronOlive@mtgoldfish.com. That would be spectacular. What about tacos? I could see people not liking tacos. Honestly, I feel, and this is probably sounds horrible, but I feel like I don't actually like tacos. I feel like Alex, welcome to the Fishbowl for the 6 month. Thank you for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. I feel like most Americans don't like real tacos. I feel like a lot of Americans like the American version, like Taco Bell tacos, but I don't feel like a lot of Americans actually like real tacos. Because I know when I've been to Mexico and I actually had, I guess what I would consider like authentic Mexican food, it's a lot different than the like American version of it. So I don't know if I actually like authentic tacos. Obviously, like Taco Bell tacos are pretty good, but I don't know if I actually like real authentic tacos, as strange as that sounds. But I also have a very refined palate. No milk on the cereal, lots of pizza. I was obviously joking about my picky eating habits. Well, that's Fabled Passage. Crack Fabled Passage. Grab a Forest. Renegade Rallier. We sideboarded in 1,000,000 counters, and we have not seen any of our 1,000,000 counters. Renegade Rallier gets back Fabled Passage. Crack Fabled Passage. Get a planes. Well, our hope and prayer is that this Immortal Sun sticks and does not get countered. Watermelon, welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big tip here for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Whiffs with an Narset to Fairy, Hero of Dominaria. Do they have a negate or a veto in hand, or do we get to shut down their planeswalkers? Draws a card. Gonna untap lands because Teferi does broken things. Opponent. Ooh, dispute, but we can't cast it. Well, go to combat. Kill Narset. Oh, I wish we had one more land for this dispute. They can't absorb. They can't be playing negates. We've been playing all creatures. There's no way they can be. Oh, they can be playing Censor, though. Oh, if Immortal Sun gets censored, I'm going to cry. Yeah, this is really tough. What else do we do, though? Like, if we don't do this, we can, like, Fae of Wishes for a Sorceress Spyglass? I guess that's something. No fear? People want the no fear plan. Oh. Who said no fear? I want names. I want names. Chat, I'm scrolling back. I'm scrolling back to see the names of the people that said no fear. I'm gonna remember. I'm gonna remember the no fear crowd. I learned not to trust the no fear aspect of chat. The subculture within the chat that says no fear to casting our Immortal Sun into open mana. We learned that, and I mean, I guess we're probably done now. Well, granted. For Sorceress Spyglass. Sorceress Spyglass. Oh, that was their only counter, too. Chat, why do you do this to me, chat? Why? Oh. Why, chat? Why? Well, hit the Teferi. Opponent can exile this and make sharks and do that. Plays a land. I mean, I guess if they had cast out, it would have mattered anyway. Cast out makes a shark. Gets rid of Spyglass. Turns out Teferi. Yeah. Alright. Well, we gave it a go. Why do we only play against control tonight? That is crazy. I mean, I don't think it was... Hey, what's up, Grim Michelano? How are you? I mean, I guess it didn't really make a difference anyway. Like, we were probably going to be in trouble. I think the bigger issue is, why is so many people playing blue-white control? Like, we've played against it, what, 3 times out of our 5 matches? We have not played any Bombardment. We could try Bombardment. Let's do one more and see. The thing is, I feel like we probably won't go through too many Bombardment games, because if that deck does its thing, those games are going to go incredibly long. That deck is not going to win. Are we 1-3 or 1-4? All the blue-white control matches are like just mushing together in my head. Just one big pile of counter spells and misery. Land and word go. Yeah, I don't know why so many people are playing it tonight. I mean, it's like, oh, it's gotta be more than 1 and 2. Haven't we played control like at least 3 times? I feel like we've played control many, many times. This is a deck someone sent in, and there are 2 Nisses in the deck, but really, I'm not even sure why they're in the deck, other than that they're good. This is a Vannifar combo deck, though, so it is definitely very much a Vannifar deck. It just happens that For some reason, there's a couple of Nissas. Well, play the land. Fabled Passage. Let's just get a Vannifar. Like, that's what we're here to do. Vannifar combo. So we might as well Fauna Shaman up a Vannifar, try to combo. Hey, thank you, Oddity. Opponent cracks Fabled Passage. Is it because there's a lot of people playing Blue Code Control tonight or the Fallen Matchmaking System? I mean, I don't think that... My understanding, unless I'm confused, is that the matchmaking system doesn't apply in that way to best of 3 as far as like selecting your matchups. I don't believe. Like I think you get paired based on your ranking, right? I don't think they do like deck quality pairing in best of 3. I could be wrong. Yeah, opponent could be Omni flooding. Well, if this gets countered, opponent, come on. All right. Well, play land. Pass the turn. Come on. If we untap here, we win. We literally... Well, as I said, if we untap here, we win. Unfortunately, we do not untap here, and we do not win. Our opponents are not making it easy for Vannifar to combo off. It's another control deck. Yeah, this is control just splashing Uro. It never ends. It never ends. And we can play this. Play Nissa. Tap this. Untap. Prime Speaker. Okay. Can we dodge and win? Please. I guess we need a creature now, don't we? We can Vannifar the 0 drop. Yeah, we need a creature. They cost more than 0. 0 does not start the chain. 1 starts the chain. 0 does not start the chain. And 3 does not start the chain. I mean, no fear. Okay, Teferi. Uh-huh. Oh, no. Is this going to phase out our Vannifar on our upkeep? Discards a land. Oh, that's actually an interest. Oh, this is still going to fizzle us, though, isn't it? Huh. Well, Fabled Passage. Crack Fabled Passage. Get a... Okay, this is our shot. We'll see if our opponent does it right. This lets us Renegade Rallier. Oh, we have a new donation from... Kybler, $5 donation. Hope you have a good rest of the day. You keep getting closer when you pronounce your name, but I'm honored to have gotten the Seth treatment. It's Keebler, like the cookie. Keebler cookies are pretty good. Stay safe and go Steelers. Well, Keebler, I'm rooting for you. Steelers had a good year. The end of their year was not as good, but overall it was a pretty good year. So opponent, of course, does phase out our creatures. We will untap a land. Kill Teferi. Hit our opponent. I don't even know if we Uro. Well, I guess if we Wrath... Okay, we'll Uro. I mean, I guess if they Wrath, it's fine. Because we're going to get a million cards in our graveyard? Yeah, alright. We'll hold on to that. Pass the turn. Alright. Can we finally do it? Land for our opponent. 9 mana, so not to Omniscience yet. Grow Spiral. Okay. Okay. Tap this for mana. Vannifar. Hopefully drawing this Renegade Rallier does not hurt us. Sack Llanowar Elves. Llanowar Elves. Combo time? I can't even be mad. I can't even be mad about that one. Sure, you got us. Fair enough. Discontinuity. Okay. Okay. The funny thing is, after all this, I bet if we actually combo, our opponent's just gonna scoop after like 2 Vannifars. Opponent Uros draws cards. Does not put a land into play. Well, we will tick up Nissa before our opponent ends our turn like a jerk. Can we even win from here, though? We go to combat. We attack, 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 attack. Draw a card. Gain some life. Oh, please not second. No. I might be a little bad about the second one. The first one was cute. The second one... Okay, we actually needed a land to die. Because this lets us Renegade Rallier back Llanowar and try to start the combo. Rallier. Llanowar. Need that 1-drop. Vannifar. Sack Llanowar. Is it happening? I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know what to say. We're so cursed. That is Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding. Wow. Well, we can thin the deck. Get some lands. Nissa. Untap a land. Play a land. Hit ya. Oh my goodness. Double discontinuity. That is absurd. That is so absurd. How is that possible? And how are they not just upkeeping? Like, I don't even know. I mean, I guess our opponent is living up to their name. David Industrial, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super tier for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, 1, 2, 3. I just want to show you all the combo. That's all this is about, showing off the combo, and our opponents are not having any of it. Uro, draw a card. Put more lands into play. Nissa, turn on a land. Go to combat, hit ya. Opponent goes to 11. Glasspool Mimic. Copy Uro. Draw a card. Pass the turn. Opponent. More Teferis. We're going to get Nexus looped. Oh, there's no Nexus legal. So this is like Nexus with no Nexus, essentially. No. No, not a third one. No, no, no. Oh! This is ridiculous. Oh, can't believe it. Silver Oak. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Teferi. More Teferis. They just keep coming. Teferi draws a card. Is it a discontinuity? Oh. Oh my god. Oh boy. Well, I guess we scoop it up. Also had to settle? How do you know they also had to settle? We have a new donation from... Well, I guess we can... Sure. Alright, we got Nexus from Dry's $5 donation. I'm so sorry, Seth. I didn't think they'd actually have the second discontinuity when I said I feel like you owe you a donation. That's my bad. No, it's all good. Sometimes ridiculous things happen. Like your opponent draws all their discontinuities when you have a Vannifar and can actually pull off the combo. But thank you so much for the donation. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you. It would be sweet if standard Ponza could be good. Are we playing 5-color Niv next? I'm actually not sure what the plan is. If we're going to play a second deck or not. I would like to combo off one more time. That would be sweet. It might never happen. What I would give to not play a control deck. Where it is. I believe our night was mono blue, blue-white control. One match against Rakdos Sacrifice, blue-white control, Bant Nexus. that has been our matchups tonight. It has just been one Teferi control deck into another, with one exception out of 6 matches. I don't think that's a very normal representation of the historic meta, but it's just a ladder. It's not a league. You want to try? I mean, we can try Haphazard. My guess is we either get absolutely blown out or we just win an hour-long match. So we can definitely try it. I don't know how many matches we'll possibly get in with it, but I'm down with trying it after this match if y'all want to. Gross Spiral draws guard. Gotta get up to that Nexus. Puts a land into play. Well, playing the land past the turn. Opponent. Oh, those discontinuities were amazingly brutal. Perhaps more brutal than... That was some of the biggest plots we've ever had. I mean, I don't think people are playing playing blue-white because it's good. I think they're playing it because they don't own Uro. I'm not sure. It seems so easy to splash Uro that I'm not sure why. I don't know. Uro's just so good. I don't know why you would play a control style deck without it. The answers never end. We will untap a island. Go beat downs. Hit ya. And this might be where it all falls apart because now this Elspeth Conqueror's Death takes up, so we can't actually counter here. And our opponent, of course, does have a Teferi off the top. Or has a Teferi. Draws a card, untaps. Gross Spiral, untaps. Plays a land. Hey, what's up, Odyssey? I mean, we still wouldn't be able to counter. The tax is the issue. Fabled Passage has value in not being cracked because of Renegade Rallier. 1, 2, 3. Well, play Vannifar. Actually, tap, untap. Actually, let's think about this. Let's do it this way. Tap, tap. Untap. Opponent grows spirals, draws a card. Puts a land into play. We play Vannifar. Unfortunately, killing Teferi doesn't do anything because Elspeth conquers death. So we'll hit our opponent, play a Fabled Passage, pass the turn. Opponent loses Elspeth conquers death, but not Teferi. Get something good, Stelly Cell. Opponent. Do they have the Wrath? They've cast a million Gross Spirals, so this Mystical Dispute's not doing a whole lot anymore. Which, is bad news. Gift of Paradise. Wrath of God. Opponent passes. Untaps. They're lands that tap for a bunch of mana. Ugh. If only this did things. Oh, Fae of Wishes from the sideboard. Get a Sorcerous Spyglass, I guess. Untap a land. Hit to fair. Well, hit our opponent. Spyglass. Name Teferi. Glasspool Mimic. Go. Opponent untaps. Oh! Wow! Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. That's a good one. That's a really good one. Uro. Yeah, Mortal Sludge is just too expensive. Have I ever eaten a mochi donut? I do not even know what a mochi donut is, honestly. Uro to draw more cards, and yeah, that Uro on the top probably our death now. Oh. Well, this ended up being I would say a slightly frustrating game. Well, Ultimate is we've just been so incredibly close to going infinite. And our opponent has just always had her top deck the right thing this entire match. Which makes it tough. Makes it real tough. Pass the turn. But our opponent's just going to go infinite any moment now. Like, we saw the extra turn spells. They top deck the Uro, so they get to refill their hand. That Uro, I'm not sure why Uro is not banned in every format, honestly. I really don't. Maybe they're waiting till a year after the set releases. That might be it. They might be waiting until a year after the set releases, but it's gotta be happening. Uro's like 3 mana Ugin, in that it just wins the game. We know they have a Wrath in hand. Well, discard 2 cards, pick up Fae of Wishes. Fae of Wishes. Get... Tamiyo, I guess. Play Tamiyo. Take up Tamiyo. Mystical Dispute. Go to combat. Hit to Fairy. We milled a lot of combo pieces though. Pass the turn. Opponent wants a Wrath in the graveyard, I guess. Wow. Our opponent has made two of the most ridiculous punts I've ever seen, and they're still crushing us. Like, those are some over-the-top, ridiculously questionable punts. Well, I guess we Tameo for Nissa. We cast Nissa. Opponent scries to the bottom. Well, we will untap a land to Teferi. Opponent. Kill Teferi. Play Vannifar. Play a land. Pass the turn. Is there hope? Is there hope in Comboville? Another Teferi. Okay. Doesn't do anything, though. Opponent's had 3 of the worst turns I've ever seen. Cards Temporal Sundering. We counter it. Is our opponent actually going to let us combo? 1 drop. Prime Speaker. Saghopagurupur. Oh no. Well, we could have got it back in opponent's. I don't know what our opponent. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what is going on in this match. I have no idea. Oh, the land was indestructible because of a Nissa ultimate. That was one of the weirdest. I guess our opponent was just trolling us. I think our opponent's been was trolling us, and then I don't know. And then when we finally assembled the combo, they just scooped. I mean, they were up a game, so maybe they were thinking they could like throw that game and then just beat us in game 3. I don't know. It was odd. Like any one of those punts would be easy to be like, okay, you made a mistake, but our opponent somehow settled the wreckage their own Uro and said oops, and then the next turn they Wrath of God in indestructible land, and then the next turn they played their Teferi into the Spyglass, which that wasn't really a pun, but it was still awkward, I would say. Well, Land of Wars for days. Opponent. Oh boy, that's tempting. That's real tempting. You know what? We're going for it. No lands for you. Try to turn us. Well, this is not how we're hoping to win, but sometimes you win in the dirtiness away. Opponent down to 17. Scavenging Ooze. Oh, Pathway. Actually, let's Gilded Goose. Untap. Go to combat. Hit ya. Opponent down to 11. You know, let's just dump our hand. Birding Tree. Zerda. Go. Favorite Kaldheim card for Standard? Whew. I mean, I think the new Wrath might be the #1 most played. Alright. Land. Turn it on. Combat. Swing. Death. Block Zerda. Eats our veto. Well, that was not the combo. That was not the combo. Oh my goodness. It's a 3-mana Wrath when you need it to be, though. I think the 3-mana aspect of the Wrath is is what I'm most excited about. Okay, so, wow. So what do you think, Jet? Do we keep going with this deck to try to hit the combo for another match or two? Or do you want to switch decks, even though we probably, my guess is we probably only get in like a match if we switch to the Boros deck, because if it goes well, the games are going to go really long. You want to bombard? All right. Let's bombard. So we talked about it briefly. I don't know how many, we'll do a 5-color div stream, Helicro. We definitely will, but we're gonna bombard tonight, because apparently that's what most people want. So this deck is basically Boros control. Outlaws Merriment, only way to win the game, really. I guess we have a Castle Art Veil, but really, blow up lands, blow up creatures, exile stuff, kill creatures, and we're just trying to like blow stuff up long enough that we can keep a clean board and win with Outlaws Merriment. And that is literally the deck that sideboard a whole bunch more removal and smothering ties for some reason. So we'll give it a go. This deck is from Platinum Mythic Ranked Player. So I don't actually know who built it, because Wizards doesn't publish people's names. Oh, is that you, Luxac? Okay, I thought you were. That's what we landed on in the chat, Luxac, is that it had to be trolling. There's no way you could accidentally, because I was thinking about it, even though if you had a Wrath in hand, there's no way you can Wrath the God at instant speed during combat. So you had to be trolling a little bit. And then the Indestructible Emblem, gotcha. Yeah, that was, and then in game 3 you just got mana screwed. So good game. That was a very strange sequence. Let me stick this deck in chat. Ooh, if this is a random creature deck. If it's a random creature deck, I think that's the matchup we want to play. Because we just have, like, infinite Ras. We have so many Ras. Just Peter, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoops here for our new subscriber. Thank you. I mean, we are going to need to draw Wrath. Right now we have a very expensive hand, but we can scry 4 Wraths. Yeah, this is such a card. When they printed Lovestruck Beast and Bone Crusher, they obviously look good. Like, there were split cards, they were powerful, they were card advantage, but I don't think I realized just how good either of those cards actually were going to end up being. And the answer is they ended up being really, really, really good. Like, way better than I think I expected them to be, or maybe anyone. And we're going to need to find a Wrath pretty quick. When are the spoilers for Kaldheim going to be over? By the way, thanks for the videos. Been watching them every day. Well, thank you for watching them, Cluter. So the latest would be Friday. We're actually not 100% sure. As far as we know, there's maybe like an uncommon left to spoil. We think all the rares and mythics are spoiled. 5, 6. Wow, we're just literally dead. Well, scrying that to the top was not wise, was it? Not at all. Yeah, that was a mistake. I don't know if it actually matters because we don't have Wrath of God anyway. Well, okay. I thought we wanted to play creature decks, but maybe we don't want to play creature decks on the play. Settle the wreckage in. Justice strike in. We need more removal. We don't have enough. Exile creature power. What? Why would anyone put this card in a deck? What would the reason for this be? See a Lich Jiggy. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, if it costs 2 or something, I could see it, but whew, that is a lot of mana for a very conditional removal spell. I don't know about this life gain stuff with no synergies. I feel like if we're playing all this life gain stuff, maybe we play Dawn of Hope or something would make sense. But I feel like just random gain 1 life a turn is not very exciting. I mean, it does get rid of Uro and Kroxa. Is there really nothing better than that in Historic? Like something more efficient that does the same thing? I mean, I guess you don't want to. I guess you don't want to play like Banishing Light because of Cleansing Nova on enchantments? I don't even know if that's enough of a reason. Love when people don't read Linval. Yeah, that could get people pretty good. How good do you think Angels will be in Standard? All right, keep. Our mana's perfect. This is gonna work. This is gonna look at all these nice sunflower lands. Do you think Angels will actually be good? It would be really sweet. Like, I guess the question is, do you think any of the tribal decks will actually be good? I think that's my biggest question. If Kaldheim is built around tribes and we end up without any of the tribes actually being playable, I think that would be a pretty big disappointment. So I'm really, really hoping that tribes, they don't got to be top tier, like best deck in the format, but they need to be they need to be at least playable, I think, for me to be happy with how it turned out. Wow, are we just angering on Llanowar? I guess. It does stop the Lovestruck Beast, and then we can Binding next turn and get to this Immortal Sun. Yeah, Vannifar is only sorcery speed. Clerics, I really think that the 3-drop Cleric Angel is one of the better cards in the set. I'm really excited about that. Giants have some really cool cards. They also have a lot of cards that seem to match up kind of poorly with good old Lovestruck Beast. That's one of my worries about Giants, honestly. Well, we will settle a wreckage, our opponent. Hey Seth, thoughts on Cascadian Tibalt's trickery into cast Emrakul combo in Modern? It looks really fun. I'm not convinced I'm worried that the fizzle rate is high enough that it won't actually be a top tier deck. But I think it's really cool, and I definitely plan on playing it, and I want to try it. And maybe there's a way to make it consistent enough that it could be a top tier deck. There's the Coco. Into. Yeah, this is not going especially well so far. Was thinking about your 4 Ugin 56 land deck. What about 4 Ugin, 4 Lovestruck Beefs, and 52 lands? I think that this deck wins 10% of its matches. I could see it winning 10%. I think that's a solid possibility. Yeah, adding in, like, if you could play Ugin with, like, 2 other playsets of cards, you could probably build a deck that won, I wouldn't say all the time, but that picked up some wins. All Ugins, that's gonna be a lot harder. Ugh. I got a feeling our opponent has multiple Cocos in hand. Well, Binding with Thassa. Oh, come on. No Cocos. No Cocos. Like, what are these 3 cards if they're not Cocos? At least one of them. Removal spells and Cocos? Yeah. Suzuki MTG with the gift sub to Raging Nomad. And also returning the sub. Thank you for your subscription. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Big super cheer for you. Archon of Emiria, Lovestruck Beast. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, wait. Alright. Well, Wrath off the top or bust. Well, it's a Wrath off the top. If they have Coco 3, then you just chalk it up to we are never beating this anyway, so well, no Coco. We're in a super fragile spot though. The fragilest. I mean, I guess we've survived 2 Cocos. That's good news. And like a decent draw for our Well, Wrath off the top. Wrath off the top, please. Again. Well, that's a Wrath off the top. Not dead yet. Not dead yet. It is not over. I mean, I think we're still likely lose because we got to keep taking removal if they play any creature because we're so low on life. That's any creature. And there's the fizzle. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I mean, really, we're it was going to be very unlikely that we get back into that game. That's not good news for this deck because I would imagine that random creatures is probably what this deck on paper it looks like you would want to play against the most. Boris is just so bad at drawing cards. I mean, I don't know if that's really the best matchup because they did have a lot of taxi stuff. Think Sweltering Suns might be better. Would Sweltering Suns be better than Anger of the Gods? I guess the argument would be that Anger is a lot better against the sacrifice decks, which are at or near the top of the format. Maze My Tome is good. Yeah, Collecting Company is really good against Sorcery Speed Wrath decks. That's one of its main powers. Do you think Snow can be problematic? Not the level of energy in Kaladesh, but maybe. I don't think so. There's some Snow cards that look okay, but there's no Snow cards that really look broken to me. So, I mean, there's some that look good, and I am excited to play Sultai Snow, but I don't see a Snow version of like Aetherworks Marvel, let's say, or something that's just like a bannably broken, like this card is a problem. So I think why no Wrath? I mean, you'd have to ask Platinum Mythic rank player. Uh do we ever get Snow hate cards? I mean, sort of, but not really. Technically there is a that god Redain, which yeah, normally when I build decks like this, I try to really overload on card draw for the most part. So I think like Maze Mindstone would probably be a pretty good option. I think the challenge with this deck is going to be card advantage. Like, that's the problem. We kind of saw that last game. Wrathing can be really effective, but eventually you're going to stop drawing Wraths, and oh boy. And there's creatures like Uro in existence. So eventually you're going to not draw a Wrath, and then it doesn't take long for your opponent to kill you. I think Redain is a good card for Standard. I don't think that... Personally, I'm not convinced that Redain does much of anything to Modern. I don't know. Some other people seem to think that it would, but I don't think that Redain is like... Oh, boy. I don't think Redain is, like, playable enough for anyone to worry about playing Snowlands in Modern. Maybe it is. I don't know. I think Redain is... Would anyone play Redain in Modern? There's just better options that do essentially the same thing, I think. Which makes me a bit skeptical as to why anyone would play Redain in Modern. Planeswalkers are also an issue. Huh. So in like Cleansing Nova away the Overgrown Tomb, that doesn't feel great. And then Uro will return, but our opponent has double mana. That also doesn't feel great. I guess none of this feels all that... Oh boy, more lands. So many... I mean, we've been tutoring up with Compass, but boy, that's a lot of lands and a little of anything else. Castle Lock. Wow. Castle Lockwane immediately snaps off a draw card, losing 6. I appreciate how much our opponent likes drawing cards. I'm hoping that we get more Snow Hate in Modern Horizons for Modern. Like, something a little bit more powerful. Like, if they... It is a tough mix, because you don't make a Snow set and then immediately invalidate it in Standard so no one can play Snow decks. And if you printed Snow Price of Progress or something equally busted, you know, Doomblade that also has an option to destroy a Snowland or a Snow permanent, like, that would be the issue, is you'd probably just invalidate Snow decks in Standard, which I don't think Wizards wants to do or shouldn't want to do. But maybe, just maybe, Modern Horizons can save the day and give us some goodies to fight against snow in that format. Well, how lucky are we feeling? Oh no, they have counters. Well, it wouldn't be tonight's stream without our opponent having counter spells in their deck. A bunch of them. No more free spells is a good rule. Opponent cracks. Ugh. Oh, please. I don't think my heart could take another discontinuity. Oh, cycle's a trio. All right. Well, let's see how lucky we can get. You. Nissa. Yeah! Good Haphazard Bombardment. Go boy. Come get a treat. Oh, that was good. Oh, we hit the 25%er. We might not be good at winning coin flips, but apparently we're good at winning Haphazard Bombardment flips. That was actually pretty clutch. Because now, in theory, Cleansing Nova cleans up the lands. I wonder if we actually should have considered putting him on the non-creature lands. Might have been worth putting him on the non-creature lands. Because we can wrath away the creature lands. Pona hits us down to 13. Oh, jeez. There's... Nissa's like the scoot swarm of planeswalkers. There's always another one. Always another one. Revitalize, I guess. How many lands is this deck playing? Is the number way higher than it should be? Okay, so we flip this. Boot it. Flicker of Fate would be cute. It's just, would be so inconsistent, because all we have to flicker is Haphazard Bombardment. So if we don't have Haphazard Bombardment, it would just be a Daddy. Alright, Uro draws cards. Sure. Omens? I wonder why the deck does not have Wrath of God. I wonder if... Is there any reason to think in Historic that Cleansing Nova is actually better than Wrath of God? That seems unlikely. I mean, I guess there's probably matchups where it's better, but... Well, Maze of Ith. Come on, non-lands. That's a good non-land, actually. Well, Star of Extinction. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, I guess 9 lives might be the reason. Maybe it is an arena budget consideration. I still have one Wrath and you shatter the skies when I need them. That could be a possibility. Hey, it's an Uro. Imagine that, an Uro. Opponent draws a card. Puts a land into play. We're going to get the castle eventually with Haphazard Bombardment. I don't really want to blow up something that already has an aim counter on it. I think we punted earlier, by putting the counters on the lands that were creatures. Ugh. This one life a turn's not doing it for us. I think we would rather have another card. Wait, how many lands are in this deck? Actual honest question. I guess I should look at this deck list. Only 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Alright. Well, we've drawn many of them. Another consideration for this deck would be playing some MDFCs. Amiria's Call seems like it'd be fine. Even a free roll, perhaps. About it. Haha! Got him! Can't Thoughtseize us if we draw only lands. Victory achieved. Oh boy, huge crosses. Yeah. Oh, this one might be over. Do you think there could be a blue-red Sked deck in Modern with a new legendary giant? Another Compass, eh? I mean, and maybe part of it is our deck is just really good at tutoring up lands. So because we're so good at tutoring up lands, we have infinite lands. I mean, I guess we got lots of Maze of This. This deck feels like close to being good. I mean, Compass was essentially another land. Yeah, I feel like this deck is like a fun idea, but Platinum Mythic... Whoa, did it tap our... Oh, Arena. Arena never taps a useful land for any reason except apparently Spires. It doesn't come into play tap, does it? No, it doesn't come into... So Arena just tapped... Arena just tapped it for no reason? It's not supposed to tap flip, does it? Doesn't it untap or no? Oh, so you do have to wait a turn? Oh. Huh. I don't know why I thought that transforming made it come into play untapped. Huh. Alright. Opponent. Adding to the battlefield. Well, boom. Look out. Platinum Mythic Rank player, what are you doing, Platinum Mythic Rank player? I mean, we can do a little deck doctor, but I don't know how much of a deck we're going to play after. I mean, all right, let's okay, we'll try to deck doctor real quick right now and do one more match before the stream wraps up. If we play off this match, we're not going to have time to make any changes or to play another match. So, I mean, there's like a million ways to do this. Brash Taughter would be sweet. Ugin, obviously busted. I think the simplest thing I would say is just adding more card draw to the deck. Like that's level 1. I think we could rebuild the deck in a whole bunch of different ways and add a whole bunch of fun cards. But I think the easiest thing is, like, go down the silly life gain stuff that doesn't do anything. Go up Maze Mindstone, which gains us life and actually does things. Go down at least some of the Cleansing Novas for Wrath of Gods. We can keep a Cleansing Nova. Maybe you go like 3-in-1 split on Cleansing Nova Wrath of God. And then probably it seems like at least a couple of MDFCs of each color would be helpful. Like, it does... Why are we playing Fabled Passage? It does cut into our number of basic lands, which is something to keep in mind. I also think Temple of Triumph seems pretty well suited for this deck. Like, scrying is pretty valuable. How many lands are we at now? 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 lands? Like, what would you cut for Mindstone, though? That's the issue. Mindstone does seem good, but what would actually go out of the deck for it is the problem. I feel like Merriman's a pretty late game plan. Oh, just like a couple? Yeah, adding in a couple Mind Stones is easy. Like, that would get us a couple Mind Stones. I don't know if I want to cut the card draw, even though Mind Stone is good. Fix the sleeves. All right, we'll go with some red sleeves. Actually, let's go lightning bolts. I mean, a Chandra would be fine. I don't know how much that takes away from our only winning with Outlaws meme. I guess the other thing with Planeswalkers is they are pretty bad with Star of Extinction. Let's try it like that. Are 4 anger good? Ugh. You know what? Actually, let's add one more Arch. I feel like we just want anything that draws us cards, essentially. Like, I think that's the biggest thing. This deck needs a full hand of cards to compete. Taunter instead of Merriment. Yeah, that might be one Brash Taunter. All right, one Brash Taunter, and then we'll run our match and see. Maybe if the server allows one Brash Taunter. Yeah, we'll add one Brash Taunter for fun. I guess we'll go down to one. We'll go down one anger. We might get wrecked by aggro. I guess we can put it in the sideboard. I mean, I'm not sure how much there is to do with the sideboard. Stormwild Caprador. Yeah, I feel like we'd probably need to do more rebuilding to make Caprador work, would be my guess. I'm not sure what the idea of the Smothering Tithe is. I do know that Grafdigger's Cage seems good. Revoke Existence, Baffling End, Justice Strike, Anger, Settle. Alright, that's fine. Yeah, Caprador is sweet, but I feel like we might need to do more rebuilding. Caprador is not very good with... I feel like Anger isn't a good answer. You need a hard wipe to hold you until you start dropping bombs. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely matchup dependent. If we play against something like Mono Red or another very aggressive deck, there is a risk that our Wrath will be too slow. Anger is also good against this. If this is Sacrifice, then Anger is actually a pretty good option there too. Yeah, let's just get this out of our hand. Amiri's Call, go. Like, this is a matchup where we might actually be praying for an Anger to stay alive. Opponent, Priest of Forgotten Gods. Well, that's an Anger. Ooh. Let's go bottom. Well, will it be fast enough? Will it be fast enough? Pirate's Pillage could be sweet. Yeah, I mean, a main deck cage could be fun. Oh, no. Oh, come on, red mana. We got to get the red mana before this Butcher grows outside of Rage. Well, I guess we have one more turn to find it. Opponent. They could also have Coco now, though. And Coco, as we saw, pretty good against Sorcery Speed Wraths. Hits us to 15. Ooh. Well, red mana, untapped, please. So I'm going to do it. Well, scry. Red mana, untapped. Okay, there we go. I mean, we still might get got by Coco, but this does help. Land Anger. Whew. Well, come on. Bad Coco. Coco. Yeah, that's not that bad. Yeah, Anger's really good in this, man. Oh, boy. Another Dreadhorde Butcher, and a land, and a bow that goes attacking. The bad news is our sweeper is going to refill our opponent's hand. And also, bad news, we're at 9. About to go to 7. Keep it, draw it. Play the land, Cleansing Nova. Clear the board, opponent draws 3 though. Yeah, we got the treasures, so we're still good. The problem is, my concern is we're getting low enough on life that we could potentially die to a single Coco, and our opponent just refilled their hand thanks to Midnight Reaper. If they gotta play at sorcery speed, our wraths are good. And we're about to get down a Bombardment, potentially. Well, there's a combo. Oh, that could have been way worse. No, Bombardment. 1, 2. Actually, let's go red. 2, 3, 4. Tap lad. All right, give us a good spin. Get that witch's oven. Ha! Our luck continues. Okay. We're really good at hitting that 25%er 2 times in a row. Not good at winning matches, but good at hitting the 25%er. Jengatha, sure. Oh, and there's our merriment. Bad news for you, opponent. Star of Extinction, out of here. Go to your end step. More bad news. Your land, out of here. I don't care which one you pick. Yes, that's fine. Opponent running out of lands. And converting your voice into signals Moto understands? How's that possible? Oh no, haste it up, hits us, down to 4. Well, Scryland. Planes to the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Star of Extinction. Get rid of the Reaper. Opponent draws a card. Bombardment. Maybe some of the life gain stuff would be okay. Out of red mana. Completely gone. Opponent. We've blown up a lot of lands. Yes, this is super close. But after you got it going, oh yeah, after finally getting stuff going, the computers run super smoothly. It took a bit to get it going, but now that it's going, it's so nice. It is. Thank you again, Tanos, for all your help with that and for picking up that stuff, because it is. Ooh. Because yeah, it has been super super nice. If they drew Coco, then we're almost assuredly dead. Yeah, they drew Coco. Whiff? Come on, whiff. Gotta love the good game there. Opponent. Coco is an issue. I mean, I guess I don't know. If Goblins was still heavily played, then I think that Grafdigger's Cage would be in the conversation. But with it not seeing much play, I don't know. I'm a little more hit or miss on it. Well, bringing the cages, running like that. Oh, so close, so close. Oh, I apologize, Odyssey. I mean, it might just be a pet peeve of mine. I don't know why it annoys me so much. Especially in situations where it's like, I just like top decked my one of or something, and you're like, good game. I don't know why. Maybe it shouldn't. Maybe it's a me thing. Maybe it shouldn't annoy me, but for some reason, that's like one of my pet peeves in Magic. And I think it's gotten worse with Arena because people use the emotes much more than they use Moto Chat, but it annoyed me in Moto Chat as well. So it's not just an Arena thing, but well, I'm glad I'm not the only one that gets annoyed by it. That makes me feel a little better. Now, treasure map, go. opponent. Priest of Forgotten Gods. Hits us. Yeah, let's just tap land, start scrying. Pass the turn. I only GG if I know the opponent is dead and they've said good game to me already. That's my technique is mostly so my technique is mostly if I lose the game, then I will sometimes say good game to my opponent. If I win the game, I never say good game unless my opponent says good game first. And then if my opponent good games me, then I will respond with a good game if I'm fast enough to click it. But yeah, so that's my main technique. I think to me being the first one to say good game as the winner just comes across, I don't know if I want to say disrespectfully, but I don't like how it comes across. I basically think that as a winner, it's better to wait until the loser says good game. If you lose though, then I think you're free to say good game. Arrogant. Yeah, arrogant might be the best word for it. And I think that's why the ones where someone good games like 2 turns or 3 turns before the game's even decided, those ones come out even more arrogant sometimes. Presumptuous, yes. Well, get rid of the board. It's pretentious. Pretentious. Like playing your spells at instant speed. And that's just my personal technique for it. Like, if you win the game and say good game, I'm not gonna like hold that against you. Like I don't think that's like a right or wrong thing. That's just how I personally handle it. So it's not I'm not gonna hold it against you. Although if you good game me like a turn or two before the game ends, when the game is not obviously over, then I might say a little something about it. But I tend to, if I'm streaming or something and someone good games me like 2 turns before, I just can't help but to mention. I don't even try to. It just happens. And I think it's also different if you have like a trolley game going. Like, I'm also not someone who uses a lot of emotes because I don't want to come across wrong and make people think I'm like whatever, being arrogant or mocking them or something. So I often try to avoid that intentionally. Well, let's flip treasure map, I think. Well, alright. Outlaws Marionette for next turn. Land. Untapped. Bombardment. Oh. Kodrak, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Midnight Reaper. Actually, let's go green. Green, green, red. All right, give us that 25%er. Get that Reaper out of here. Oh, all right. Well, not the Reaper this time. Our luck's running out. Close on your house Friday? Congratulations! Oh my, one of my brothers has been looking for a house. Congratulations. One of my brothers has been looking for his house. He goes for this house. And remember, I live in the middle of nowhere in upstate New York. So he goes to look at this house. He really liked the house. He gets there, and there is literally a 400-pound pig living in the backyard. And to make matters worse, this pig, the owner moved out, but the owner would come in and feed it once in a while. Their initial plan was to like butcher it and have an actual pig. So he just goes with the realtor and they find this 400-pound pig, and then they go and look in the house, and the people would like travel together for work for a week or two at a time, and they would leave the pig indoors. They would put it in a room. They had a pig room that they would put food in for the whole amount of time they were gone, and it was just smeared. The walls, the ceiling was just covered with pig crap. With pig crap. But this went on for like a This went on for like a couple of months while my brother was going through the process, and he actually ended up making an offer on the house and is supposed to be closing on it like next week or something, like very shortly. So the pig did not deter him. He actually thought it was kind of a bonus. he was like, yeah, we'll just keep it and then we'll do a pig roast sometime. But his girlfriend would hear none of that. Would not actually allow him to eat the pig. So yeah, I think it's going to there's also small town upstate New York. There's a pig rescue around here because apparently I don't know, this must be an actual issue in the area. So there's like a pig sanctuary where they will come and get your unwanted pig and give it a safe home. So I think it's gonna end up going to the pig sanctuary, and I think we are going to end up losing now that Grafdigger's cage is gone. Outlaws Merriment is a tiny bit on the slow side, I will say. For an Eldraine card, this should have an ETB trigger or something. Like it needs a little more push, because now the cats come back, and now our life quickly ends to double Witch's Oven. Like it ends almost immediately to Witch's Oven. But congratulations so much on now you want a pig room? I don't think you really. Well, it was like, was it a pet? No, this was a big, like, that was literally like 300 or 400 pounds. It was huge. It was just like the fattest pig you'd ever seen. So it wasn't. I've seen like the little pet pigs. No, this was like a big old like porker. Like you were obviously growing it for meat, and I think that's what the original owners had said. Their plan was to grow it for meat, and yeah, we're dead. Oh, well, we got a good pig story. I don't know, we might have to revisit Haphazard Bombardment, because we got to it late in the stream, didn't get a chance to really do it justice. So we might have to revisit in the future, because I like the idea of it. Obviously needs some tuning. We might need some middle ground. In that game, the life gain effects would have been a little bit helpful. So maybe, I don't know, I think the next thing I'm going to try, and we're not going to do it now because we're reaching the end of the stream, but I think maybe an interesting plan would be, instead of some of this stuff, maybe we embrace the life gain. And instead of some of the lesser card draw options, maybe we go like Dawn of Hope and... Oh my god, I never played this card, so I don't actually remember what Fountain of Renewal. Maybe we embrace, and instead of getting rid of the life gain, maybe we try to turn the life gain into card draw with Dawn of Hope. I could see that being, maybe that's the way to go. Then you get the life gain against aggro, keep away from the danger zone, and you get the card draw, which we so desperately need. So I like the possibilities of this deck. I expect we'll be seeing again at some point in the future, but I don't know if we're all the way there yet. Oh my goodness, everyone. On that note, I think that brings us in to the end of our stream for tonight. We will be back on Thursday with our next stream. However, tomorrow night at normal stream time, 6 Eastern, it is Saffron Olive. Hey, what's up, Ghoul Freight? Good game, if we just played. Tomorrow night, 6 Eastern, I'm going to join Tomer's stream for a Commander game. So hop over there if you're interested. It is on the YouTube channel. What was the deck? This was a Boros prison deck that we got from the arena deck list dump. Haphazard Bombardment deck. So jump over to the YouTube, watch some Commander tomorrow. Should be fun. Otherwise, Replay YouTube is where you'd find the old streams. And one more reminder that our awesome sponsor this evening, and every evening, is Card Kingdom. And if you need some Kaldheim cards, because you haven't got them yet, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com. You may get a free Scoop Soldier sticker. So thanks to Card Kingdom for supporting the show. Most importantly, thanks to all of you. We had a ridiculous amount of donations and subs and gift subs, and all that stuff is great, but really, what means the most to me is y'all hanging out and having fun. So seriously, each and every one of you, I love you. I appreciate it so much that you hung out tonight, had some fun. We lost a lot of games, but we got to talk about pig rooms, and we got to talk about Kaldheim, and we got to combo up with Vannifar. So hopefully, even though our record wasn't great, you had a good time hanging out tonight. So thanks so much, everyone. Have a wonderful Tuesday evening. Have an amazing Wednesday. I'll see you tomorrow night, maybe on the YouTube for some Commander. Otherwise, I will see you Thursday for the stream. So, raid in progress, I think. Let's see. All right, raid going, I think. So have a wonderful night, everyone. I appreciate y'all. You're amazing. Thank you so much. See you soon. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon.